Hey, welcome to the premiere episode of Pop Culture Playoffs. Tonight, with your help, we will start the journey of determining the best Nintendo game of all time. If you loved the NES, this is the show for you. I am your host, the J-Man, the Stream King, the Hot Take Hitman, J Juggernaut. So here's what we're going to do tonight. This is how it's going to work. We have all 64 we have what we think are the 64 best Nintendo games of all time. We have them ready to go, lined up, and we're going to discuss each one. And much like the March Madness basketball tournament, we are going to be seeding them from seeds 1 to 16. So there'll be 4 1 seeds, 4 2 seeds, all the way down to 4 16 seeds. So this is going to be where you guys join in and talk, and the show is going to be very interactive. So please put in your comments. Let us know any games that we missed. Let us know what seed you think each game should be. And like I said, very interactive. We want you guys to participate. And then next Wednesday, we'll be doing the tournament where the seedings come into play. So before we get started, I want to introduce my co-host. When I knew we were talking about Nintendo, I knew I had to get my main man on here. So he is the Viceroy of vocabulary, the Mad Hatter of witty banter. He is the Blastin' Maestro. Maestro, how you doing tonight?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our little corner of the internet here. I'm Blastin' Maestro. I'm doing fantastic, and you're about to get a head full of NES fantastic goodness. We're here battling it out, fisticuffs, River City Ransom style. Guys, stay tuned. This is going to be fun. We're arguing, we're fighting, we're going to figure out what video game is the best. We both have fond memories, especially me, of the NES, and we're here to chat about it, rap about it, riff about it. We need your help.
Yes, like he said. So in the comments, please post what you think of each game. Let us know any games that we missed, and our goal is to have a lot of fun tonight. Maestro, real quick, why was the NES probably the best video game system of all time?
Well, like any video game console system, that's subjective, but in my opinion, the NES really grabbed and pulled the video game industry out of the quagmire that Atari kind of got itself into, and really made video games a mainstream pop culture icon once again. Back when the Atari 2600 especially was popular, the market was really saturated. You know, you had ColecoVision, you had a lot of other video games. You had the man, I'm drawing a blank right now. The ColecoVision, other games, other systems, Commodore 64. You had the Magnavox Odyssey. That's really dating myself. But you
Garbage.
had a lot of video games. You had
all those systems were garbage. Yeah, Nintendo was where it was at.
Yep, take-home Pong systems. Even Atari released the 5200 and 7200 and still supported the 2600. So you had all these systems sort of vying for the same market, and kids didn't know which games were good back then, even still during the NES game. But Nintendo, in their wisdom, remedied that with Nintendo Power. So you had a Nintendo game, you didn't know how to beat it, you got an issue in Nintendo Power. And we're going to be talking more about that, because a lot of these games, you don't know what the hell to do unless you had a strategy guide.
Right? As a kid, these games were extremely difficult. I think that's going to be a common theme for tonight, going over these games and remembering how hard they were for us at the time. But man, like a lot of great memories, and we're excited you're joining us tonight. So, Maestro, what do you say we just jump right in and start going through these games?
Oh, I'm ready.
All right. So
let's
pump some games out. So as you can see, we have all 64 games down here that we are going to be discussing. I'm going to nominate a game. We're going to just go in alphabetical order, and we're going to talk about it, and then we're going to figure out what seed it should be. So we are going to start off with A Boy and His Blob. So this came out in 1990. Made by Absolute Entertainment, a puzzle platform game. Nintendo Life gave it 6 out of 10, and on IGN's Top 100, it was 74th place. So this game was kind of fun. It was interesting. It was like a very different take on a puzzle platformy type game, where you were getting these. So in the clip here, he's getting the licorice jelly beans, and he's calling his blob over, and the blob is doing his bidding. So if as a child, if you could have a blob doing your bidding, like, this was where it's at. So do you remember this game at all? Did you play this as a kid?
Yeah, of course I played this game as a kid. This was one of the early games that I pumped as a kid. And, I just like how the eyes are at the top of the ladder there. Like you're climbing up his whole front of his body, climbing up his junk to get to the top of the ladder.
He became what you needed, which was really cool. So, like, whatever the scenario was, whatever you needed in that situation,
Mhm.
you gave him the right. Were you giving him licorice or jelly beans?
They're it's a licorice flavored jelly bean, but
Ah,
you had many
okay,
different flavored jelly beans, like ketchup
gotcha.
jelly beans, which was programmed into the game in case the blob got lost off screen somewhere, so you could magically produce him bilocatively to your location, apparate to your location, so to speak. And David Crane was very proud of this game. That's why he slapped his name, right? Even on
Yeah,
the
he
box
did.
art,
Yeah,
David
he did.
Crane's A Boy and His Blob. Trouble in Blobolonia
So,
or
what do you
on
do when there's
Blobolonia.
what do you do when there's trouble in Blabalonia?
Well, you befriend a blob. They never explain. I can't read what the
No,
what the box art there. There's it looks like
no,
there's a little comic. I don't recall an actual comic being related. It's
no.
possible that there was, but this game was an undercover PSA to eat your veggies and take your vitamins because the reason that there was trouble on Blobolonia was that the king, Bloblord, I forget his name, but he was eating too much candy and he became nuts. So maybe the blob came to Earth to seek help. I think that sounds familiar. But anyway, the boy immediately enslaved the blob and made him do his no.
Yes,
He oh,
I
an
like
alien.
it.
Let me
I like it.
But anyway, the point of the game was that you need to collect enough treasures in order to get yourself a Vita Blaster so that you can get vitamins and give the king vitamins so that he won't be evil no more. That's the plot of the game.
That's the plot. There you
And then you eat root beer jelly beans and ride the rocket all the way to Blobolonia, which
go.
is a logistical nightmare if you ask me. I don't know how he gets from Earth to a different planet riding on a rocket. They don't explain where the fuel comes from. Maybe he's just burning sugar.
Yeah. Oh, some sort of jelly bean, I'm sure.
Yeah, rocket fuel jelly bean. That wasn't a flavor that I recall. Rocket fuel flavored jelly bean.
So this is an
Just
interesting
root beer.
game. It's funny that we're starting with this game because I have no clue where to put it on the rankings. So we have 1 to 16 seed, 1 to 16, where we can determine where it goes. What is your initial thought? Like, I guess let's just start discussing it. Where do you think? What was the first number that pops in your head?
Well,
Between 1 and 16.
I'm inclined to agree with IGN. It was a fun game, but it wasn't very long or involved. I'm thinking maybe 12 or 13 sounds like a good spot to
Yeah.
pump a boy and his blob.
Boy and his blob, he's going to blob all the way to a number 12 seed. And so this is where you come in, chat. If you think that is too high or too low, if you think we are way off base, please put it in the comments. Let us know what you think, and we can move it. It's not set in stone at a 12. It's just like that was our initial thought. And so that's where we're going to put it for now. Okay, so let's go to our next game, which is Adventure Island 2. So Adventure Island 2 was made by Hudson Soft.
Mhm.
All game gave it 3.5 out of 5, and IGN's top 100, a pretty impressive 29th place. And this might be one of my favorite videos that I'm going to show you. This clip says it all. So you got Master Wiggins, and he's riding some sort of toad or lizard type thing. And see, you don't want him to get hit because once you lose the toad, then you're just running. And see his little, he's got the little grass skirt on. He's got the little hat. He's throwing boomerangs. I mean, I don't remember this game, but this game looks like a lot of fun. And I can't see this game getting knocked out early in the tournament. This is going to be a heavy hitter. Come on, people. Adventure Island 2. Does anyone remember this game? Please put it in the comments if you do. Maestro, do you remember Adventure Island 2?
I played Adventure Island 1. I have
Garbage.
no
Adventure Island 2 is where it's
experience
at.
with Master Wiggins Pump Fest in Adventure Island 2, riding Sarah from A Land Before Time, it looks like, and farting sparkles to destroy the Hudson Soft bee, which is an enemy in this game, it looks like. But that bee, man, that bee is trouble, as you can see right there, and you got to get those grapes. But Adventure Island's fun. It's a great platformer. You get to shoot things. That the controls are tight. At least in the first one they were. So and the music was good too. Some of the Hudson Soft games did have good music. Oddly enough, I have experience playing another Hudson Soft game called Mylar's Secret Castle or Mylon's Secret Castle, which isn't as good as Adventure Island or Adventure Island 2, I'll be willing to wager. But again, I haven't pumped Adventure Island 2. The first one was good. I have no reason to believe that the second one was worse.
Just catch these highlights. I mean, look at this guy go. Like, how much fun is this? This is for 1990. This is pretty like advanced graphics. Like, look at the colors, the brightness, the green hula skirt.
That dinosaur looks creepy though. Black eyes. Look at that.
He's friendly. He's smiling.
That thing looks like it would kill you in your sleep.
He doesn't take much damage though. He gets hit by one of those bees and it's all over.
He just disappears. He like warps back into a dimension. He's just gone.
Where's this kid hiding these boomerangs? Like, he's wearing a hula skirt.
He borrowed Link's magic satchel.
Where does he have that? He's wearing a hula skirt, no shirt, no shoes.
Maybe he's using his prison wallet. He's suitcasing all those. that would make him even more. Oh god, stomach smells like poopies.
So clearly, this is an amazing game. 1991 Adventure Island 2. You could tell from the footage. IGN top 100, 29th place. So as you can tell, this is going to be pretty high up on my list. Maestro, what I'm thinking probably somewhere between 7 and 8, like in this middle range. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a good spot. If I were to poop a boomerang, I would probably.
Well, and the toad was pooping sparkles. I mean, we got sparkles coming out, boomerangs coming out.
Yeah, it's a game where you poop sparkles and boomerangs with your dino. That on its own is worth a number 7.
Okay, yeah, I think at number 7. Like, I don't want to get crazy. It was an amazing clip, but we still have so many great games that we're getting into, so I don't want to overseed it. But I think 7 seems fair. Chat, if you have any issues with that, please post it. Otherwise, we are going to keep it there. And we are going to move on to another favorite of mine. This was a game from my childhood that I had a lot of memories of really struggling with. This is... pump it in the stream right now. It is American Gladiators. 1991. It was made by GameTech. 60% on all game was the score. It didn't make IGN's top 100. Shocker. Just for anyone who doesn't remember American Gladiators, it was a TV show from I think it was the late 80s to the mid 90s. And just like these pumped up steroided guys, and they were competing up against regular people who were in really good shape, but just like they were dominating these contestants at sporting events. Like you see there, that was the joust when you had giant Q-tips going up against each other. And in the game, as you can see, here's some of the footage here. He's trying to joust this gladiator off of the podium, and he did it. Just like, oh my god, I have so many memories of this game. It was a bunch of different mini games, but pretty much going up against these roided up steroided freaks that you were playing. And so this one, you had to get a soccer ball into the canister, and they were trying to tackle you. It seemed very dangerous, like for a TV show, because there wasn't there wasn't any padding going on. I think you can see some of the gladiators. They all had really cool names too. So I see Zap, I see Gemini, I see Laser. I mean, I think everyone's favorite was oh my god, I can't remember his name now. So Nitro. Who was Gemini? The one guy? Gemini. There was one more Thunder. That I can't remember. That what?
Thunder? I don't know.
It was pretty much Hurricane. Anything that was lightning bolt. Anything that was a natural disaster. They probably had a gladiator. But to me, this game was a lot of fun. It was very difficult. I know it's not going to do very well in the tournament, but I wanted to include it because as a kid, I had so many fun memories with this. Did you remember the show, or do you remember the game American Gladiators?
Yeah, I absolutely remember both the show and the game. Especially, was it Nitro or Gemini who had the tagline, 280 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal?
Oh, I know. It's like they were like trying to be professional wrestlers or something. They just were ready.
They got a pump on before they went in there.
Oh, definitely. They were all greased up.
Sometimes when you watch that scene in The Running Man, when Jesse Ventura is fighting Arnold Schwarzenegger in the cage, that's American Gladiators to me. and that's not a far exaggeration. Especially the damn handball. Gladiators would smear you. You would get destroyed trying to get that stupid ball in the trash cans. These gladiators.
They were coming at you, like I said, no padding, and they didn't want to lose either because this was their show, and you're coming on their show trying to beat them at their event. They don't want to look silly on TV, so there was always like a lot of like pent up aggression. It seemed like, and
oh yeah,
it was a fun show. Not that fun a game, I guess, if you're really looking back on it. So I'm not like jaded. I can be realistic with it. I think this is going to be pretty.
Unless you talk about the Scream, can't forget the Scream being knocked off the pedestal there.
Yeah. Okay, so let me get him loaded up. I want to. Okay, get ready. Get ready. You're gonna have to scream for me, all right, buddy?
All right, here we go.
The sound effects are great. Okay, so American Gladiators, 1991, not a good game, but a fun memory for me. I'm pretty convinced it's going to be a 16 seed, unless you disagree with me, Maestro.
Yeah, let's pugilize American Gladiators right at 16. Pump it right there.
We're going to pump it into 16. Yeah, definitely. If anyone has any fond memories, I know it was a very difficult game, but we can move it later. So in the tournament, a 16 seed will face a 1 seed, so probably going home early. There will be a little to no American Gladiator action in the actual tournament.
The theme song was pretty good. Now
it was. The show was really exciting.
That was a great theme song.
It was like one of my favorite shows. Like it really was super exciting. Okay, so let's go to another sporting game. This is a Baseball Stars 1989. It was made by SNK. It was voted the most popular NES baseball games. There were a lot of NES baseball games. Some of them good, RBI baseball. Some of them were not great. But this was a good game. IGN's Top 100 gave it a 28th place. I know we have a clip of it here. Cyclops pitching to Wendell, Wendell takes him deep.
And the outfielder again is just running into the wall there. Look at the pitcher. I love that.
Oh, it's so funny.
Oh, damn it.
The pitcher knew as soon as Cyclops let it go, he knew. Right. Cyclops has a laser for an arm too, but if you get a hold of it, he hung that curve and Wendell hit it out. But I love the animation. Yeah, the outfielder's still running.
Yes.
He's all worked up.
Yeah, and the pitcher is just very distraught.
Oh yeah, and then Roger came to the plate. So this was like obviously the graphics wasn't great, but what was cool about this game was you got to keep stats, which I was a huge stat guy as a kid. I like numbers, and you got to win money, and you got to buy other players. So a very early like version of free agency in a baseball video game. So it was a fun game. It looks really cool. You didn't play Baseball Stars, did you, as a kid?
No, I did not remember playing Baseball Stars as a kid.
But you could tell it looks pretty fun.
I would give it a pump. as long as I could be Cyclops.
Look at that pitcher. Nope, that's what happens. You got to be careful when you're pitching to Wendell.
Oh, look at that. Roger is Wendell or Roger?
Well, Roger was batting cleanup. Wendell was batting third baseman Wendell. And I could watch this all day. And he hung a curve.
Batting average.
Oh, yeah. He's hitting 326.
326. Look at that.
So this was an okay game. I'm not going to say this was anything fantastic, but like for an early baseball game, it was pretty enjoyable. Chat, if you have any comments on it, I'm going to think it was maybe like I don't want to do too high. So I guess like you can use these other games as comparisons. I think we're probably going to pump it around A Boy and His Blob.
All right.
Do you have any strong opinions on where you think this game belongs?
What was the IGN ranking for A Boy and His Blob? Was it around the it was like 70, right? 78.
Yeah. And this one was 28. So I'd
probably pump this one a little over A Boy and His Blob.
Okay, guys, we're blobbing up to. Okay,
Yep.
I feel like
Cyclops just pitched right into the 10th spot there.
Dude, Wendell and Roger back to back. I mean, that's a tough lineup to get through.
Roger.
All right, so we got Baseball Stars at a number 10 seed. Okay, so let's get to our next game in alphabetical order here. We are going to talk about, this is, I think, a really cool video game. It's Batman the video game.
Oh, yeah.
So, is that the song for it? Is that the song? Are you sure that's not American Gladiators? Okay, so this was Batman the video game, 1990, obviously based off of Tim Burton's Batman the movie, which was fantastic. Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton, Kim Basinger, like that was a great movie, and this was a great video game. All Game gave it 4.5 out of 5 in IGN's top 100, 33rd place. Usually, if you have a movie or a TV show license, the games don't come out that great, but this game did. So, Maestro, why don't you talk about Batman the video game a little bit?
I will talk about Batman the video game for a little bit. So, it did come out around the same time as the Tim Burton movie, which is still probably one of my favorite Batman movies, by the way. And even though people think it's a tie-in, it's not really a tie-in. It's just a sort of a Batman game that came out the same time. Even though they used the clips, they used some digitized photos of Jack Nicholson as the Joker, and that obviously looks like John Keaton in his bat suit.
Michael Keaton.
I'm sorry, Michael Keaton. What's wrong with me?
Wow.
Michael Keaton in his bat suit, but that's pretty much all that this game has to do with the movie. It is fun. It has that Ninja Gaiden-esque appeal to it. There's a lot of platforming, a lot of strategic enemy dodging and killing. But Batman, in contrast to Ninja Gaiden, feels stronger. He feels beefier, and he should. He's not quite a ninja. He's an armored ninja, quote unquote. But this game was a lot of fun. I think IGN kind of pumped this one a bit, ranking it that low, because I love playing this game. It's a hard game, but once you get it down, it kept you coming back for more. And if you got all the way and you beat the Joker, then you were good, because the Joker is hard. Joker in this game is hard if you're not equipped to beat the Joker.
And of course, you got John Keaton, aka Michael Keaton.
Yeah, John Keaton, the younger brother. He's the one that starred in this game, not Michael. This is John Keaton.
Right? And then Kim Basinger, thank goodness you're here, Batman. I just discovered that poisonous gas is being made at the Axis Chemical Factory. You remember the Axis Chemical Factory?
I do. So that's another tie-in facet of this game. In the movie, they called the chemical plant Axis Chemicals, but in the comics and in the lore, it was actually called Ace Chemicals. So I'm not sure why they changed that around. If they had the actual rights to Batman, but that's neither here nor there. But I could talk about that movie for a long time. For example, that Batman has the highest kill count in that movie than any other Batman movie. Batman killed people.
He wasn't messing around, dude. He was trying to make an impression. And it was Tim Burton, so of course it was a little bit dark as well. And
I mean, just look at that one scene where he just goes into Axis Chemicals, drops a bomb at the feet of some henchman, drives away, and blows the place up. He killed everyone in there.
Dude, he's rich. His superpower is he's rich, and if he can afford to destroy a bunch of, but he was doing it for the right reason. He wasn't killing people just to kill.
I don't think he had to kill them. He just drove in there.
He had no reason. He just did
it. Because so this is again, this is a tangent, but Joker was making a bunch of chemicals because in this movie, he's apparently a genius at chemistry, and I don't remember the Joker ever being that, but that's neither here nor there. So he made this weird concoction where if you mixed lipstick with hairspray, then it was deadly, and you would get all smiley, and that's what he called it, smiley. Uh-oh, he's been trying Brand X. New and improved Joker products. Remember that?
Yeah. That movie was creepy. As a kid, like that kind of like freaked me out.
And so when Batman found out what was happening, he said F this, and he took the Batmobile, shot his way into there, dropped a couple bombs, and blew up the plant. He didn't know who was in there. He
There's just some guys, they
and
don't
it's
even
a
realize they're
chemical
working for an
plant.
evil corporation. They're just in there
Yeah.
working, and
In a real scenario, blowing up a chemical plant would pollute that whole area for years.
oh, I'm sure
Oh,
thousands died. Probably,
yeah.
probably tens of thousands.
Thanks, Batman.
You killed thousands, but you saved the rest of the city.
I was just gonna avoid combining lipstick with hairspray, but now you kinda just killed everyone.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, so this was a fun game. Like you said, it was like Ninja Gaiden, but like better, like on steroids. Like he was like stronger, had more weapons, and this was a lot of fun. So where are we going to rank? Where are we going to rank Batman the video game? I agree with you. I think it's unfortunately, I think it's even better than Adventure Island 2. So
Oh, wow.
I was thinking like in this
6?
range.
6 is
Think six.
calling out to me, yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think 6 is a
Batman the
good.
video game is going to be
Oh,
number
yeah.
6. I like that.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
here's another great game. Just like a lot of alphabetical order is bringing us the good games here. This is another B. And did they rip off Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I'm not sure. It's Battletoads 1991. It was made by Acclaim and is a beat 'em up game. IGN's top 100 40th, and All Game gave it a 4.5 out of 5. And so it's like, is this are these guys just Ninja Turtles? What's going on here?
Yeah, these guys are just
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles for the most part. They tried to cash in on the crazy fighting mutant hype, and there was even this was fared better than most. There was actually another game called Cheetah Men, which was just it was bad. That could maybe be featured on a worst NES games list. But I remember pumping this game. This game was hard. Every kid that played this game remembers the frustration with the turbo tunnel, the damn turbo tunnel. Trying to get yourself through there was just a nightmare. And playing with two players, especially because you could hit each other. And when you were wrecking balling around the little pit that you had to go down in right there, you would kill each other. And then of course the turbo tunnel. And if one of you ran out of lives, then both of you had game over. You couldn't start
Oh,
over.
really?
So if one of you was like has one life left, you would just kill yourself. We'll both of us start over with fresh lives at this level and try again. But this game was tough. I never beat this game. I remember getting frustrated with this game. I forget the Battletoad's name, Zit maybe, but he never got rescued by me.
No.
He got turned into frog legs. Someone ate him. I don't know what they did with his spiked gauntlets or knee pads either.
Yeah, that's painful. You can't even be around people you love. You're going to hurt somebody.
Yeah.
So Battletoads 1991, 40th all time from IGN's list. Where are we going to place it?
So this game was hard and frustrating, but I wouldn't necessarily call it bad
Oh,
because
it was a good game.
with enough practice, you could pump your way through the turd tunnel.
So where are we
Oh
gonna?
man,
How does it compare with that Toad in Adventure Island 2? That was a battle Toad if I've ever seen one.
man, I would pump this. Oh,
What are
that's
you
rough.
thinking? Again,
I'm
chat, if you have any opinions, please let us know.
I'm thinking number 9 looks really good right now
9 seed.
for baddest toads.
Okay, we're gonna battle Toad our way into a number 9 seed.
Turbo
Chat, if you have
tunnel.
any issues, please let us know. Otherwise, that is where it's going to stay. And then we're going to go. This is another one. It's a really good game. I know you liked it as a kid. We're going to go to Bionic Commando 1988. So if you're a fan of grappling hooks, this is the game for you. It was a 1-up, gave it an A+, which is can't be beat. And IGN's top 100 gave it a 9. So it's 9th best game Nintendo ever came out with, according to IGN's top 100. We got some funny footage here, and
funny.
He's using this
Yeah.
grappling hook and he's jumping up and he's not jumping. He's using the grappling hook to go up and down, which is super interesting. And it just was a lot of fun. Do you have any comments on Bionic Commando?
I do. Bionic Commando was originally an arcade game, and they were trying to figure out a unique mechanic to make a game more interesting. And in this game, you can't jump. All you have is your grappling hook. So you have to figure out how to use your grappling hook to get around. And that was a challenging but very fun mechanic to get a hold of because it was easy to learn but tough to master, if that makes any sense. And even right there, I recall finding different tricks where if you jumped high enough, you could grab in between the barrels and actually get yourself up there in a way that wasn't meant. But and this was sort of a sequel to another arcade game called, and I forget the name, but you have to rescue this guy that was captured. You're part of the same sort of special ops group. Super Jim, I think was his name, if I'm not mistaken. It was like a or super something.
Super
But
something.
yeah, you had to rescue him because he got captured. And finding all the different weapons was fun. This game was arranged in a different sort of way. It had an overworld, so to speak, where you flew your helicopter to different areas and parachuted or rappelled down into them. And you would find a dude that says, "Hey, go to area 15. There's a gun there you might like." Or you would find the enemy commander just walking around in one of the safe zones, and you would try to shoot him, and then everyone would try to kill you because it's a safe zone and you're not supposed to shoot anyone in the safe zone, even though you would come across a dude shooting you. Oh, and by the way, the bad guy in this game is totally Hitler. Just if you look up the Japanese box art, there's Hitler on the cover, and they don't even try to hide it. Even the cutscenes, it is. They got the Charlie Chaplin mustache, the what do you call that? A toothbrush mustache, and yeah. So that happened. So that's a perk, and if you didn't know until the end, that was sort of surprising. This is a game. This is
stakes
a game
have been raised.
Yeah. Oh my god. He's got Super Jim.
I'm facing Hitler.
Yeah.
So this was 1988, and you got a grappling hook and a gun, and you're facing off against Hitler. People, what do you think? Put in the chat what comments you have. I'm gonna say this is pretty highly, since IGN gave it 9th overall. 1UP gave it an A+. You have good memories. It looks like a fun game. I think we're gonna have to pump it pretty high in this list, I think.
I agree. This is a high pumper. It's going to grapple its way.
Oh, it's grappling
its way up.
Yeah, I'm thinking like 3, 4, 5, like somewhere up here.
Let's pump it at 5 for right now.
We're gonna go with a 5 seed. Come on, people. He needs us. We're facing off against Hitler with a grappling hook. Can you imagine?
Without a grappling hook, you can't beat Hitler.
You're behind enemy lines and you have nothing but a grappling hook. Let's go.
That's it. Gonna grapple my way to the top.
Bionic Commando, a number 5 seed. Let us know what you think, and we're gonna move on to the next game, which is 1988's Blades of Steel. So this is made by Konami. This obviously was a hockey game. All Game gave it a 4.5 out of 5, and IGN's Top 100 gave it 24th overall. So this was a pretty cool game. Let's find some footage here.
Footage.
So you're going left and right. You got the arrow pointing to where you want to shoot in the net, and obviously, NHL games changed big time a few years later with NHL 93, 94. There were some great EA Sports games there, but for the Nintendo, this was actually like a pretty fun game. This came out a few years later after that original hockey game. So this was like slightly better, I think. And just it was a lot of fun. Blades of Steel 1988. Do you have any memories of this game?
Yeah, I pumped this game. Slink Blade of Steel. And the main attraction to this is they put it on the box art. It's not dudes playing hockey, it's dudes fighting. This is a hockey game, but screw that. We're gonna have just put 2 dudes fighting on there. And
yeah,
Konami,
we're doing this.
Again, Konami, they had their fingers in everything. They made so many games for the NES. in all different genres. I played this game and it was I had fun with it, but I think I have fonder memories of ice hockey, just the regular ice hockey, and you get in just massive brawls and get spanked by the referee into the penalty box. But yeah, I mean, I had fun with this game for maybe 30 minutes.
And that was it. That's all you had. That's all
Yeah.
you gave it.
I mean, these NES sports games, they're unless you had something else to do, like build a career or manage a team, and if you didn't have anyone to consistently play with you, you were just playing the computer constantly, and after a while, it's like, "Okay, this I've experienced everything that this really has to offer."
Yeah, there's really not much else going on with it. It didn't even have NHL licenses, so you're just playing with random city names and random teams. But like for a hockey game in that time, it was pretty good. So IGN's top 100 gave it
I don't
24th.
know. It kinda
That
looks
seemed
like, an Islander player fighting somebody from the Calgary Flames on the cover there.
I definitely thought that was Calgary Flames. I thought maybe it could be Buffalo Sabres,
It could be the
the blue and
Sabres.
yellow. Oh, or St. Louis
Were
Blues, maybe
were
with the
the
blue and yellow.
Buffalo Sabres around back then? Were they a team back then?
It was 1988.
Weren't they a
No, I'm
new-ish?
not. I'm pretty sure they were around in '88, but let me know if I'm wrong. But I think Buffalo was a team in 1988. That'll have to be for a sports. We'll do a hockey episode one day for sure. So
Yeah.
Blades of Steel. Where are we? Blades? Can you do that? Can you do the Blades of Steel noise again?
Think Blades of Steel.
Okay, so where do you want to pump this on the list?
Oh, man. It's gotta be I'm gonna put it below Baseball Stars, because I think that game was a bit funner.
Yeah,
Let's pump that. Let's pump it at 13.
13.
Yeah.
Blades of Steel fans are furious. Yeah, sorry, people. 13. If you have any disagreements, put it in the chat. Let us know what you think. Otherwise,
Pump your fury at me.
direct it all towards Blastin' Maestro.
Direct your
please.
furious. Body check me. All your grappling hooks.
I like how you just described the game as basically it's just fighting.
They put it on the box. Look at that. One dude's got a
It's-
helmet. One dude doesn't have a helmet. Got Calgary Flames fighting the New York Islanders.
Mhm. Okay, let's go to our next game, which is Blaster Master 1988.
Oh, yeah.
Made by Sunsoft. 4.5 out of 5 from All Game. And IGN's top 100 gave it a 22nd place. So I am not super familiar with this one, but I know you played it before. So Blastin' Maestro, what do you wait? Is this your origin story? Blaster Master?
It could be. I was the dude in
What?
Blaster Master.
Is this where you got your name from?
Yeah, I think. Maybe.
What? Is it really?
Yeah. No, not
No.
really.
Oh,
Not
come
really.
on. Oh.
It's just very close.
Okay. So
Very close.
we gotta be careful they don't sue you for copyright infringement. Wait,
Who's
he's
they?
Blasting
Sunsoft?
Maestro. Yeah, Sunsoft.
Sunsoft's going to come after me.
The attorneys are calling now. Blaster Master. Okay, well, it's close to your name. So did you play this game?
I pumped Blaster Master, and believe it or not, the name of that tank right there, his name is Sophia the Second.
If you say so.
So this game was originally an anime inspired game produced for the Japanese market, and the story was completely different. And actually, it was better. There was an actual story where this guy's a son of some astrophysicists, I believe, and he made some ray that mutated monsters, and then his dad got killed, and so he's on a revenge plot, a revenge kick. And that's a fine story. I mean, that was enough of a story to send you off your way, especially on the NES. But for some reason, they figured that story would not resonate with North American audiences. So instead, they just had a cutscene where a dude follows his pet frog who escaped and jumped into a hole in the ground outside his house, by the way, a giant hole outside his house.
Mhm.
He goes down the hole and he just finds a suit of armor and the tank there.
Wow.
And he just puts it on and hops in and goes to look for Fred, which is the name of his frog. And he got turned into an enemy in this game. He got mutated. You have to destroy a couple solar Freds, I think they were called, and the boss is actually on the cover, which is weird. I don't think I've ever seen a video game put the end boss as the cover art, because
Yeah,
there
what
he is,
is
right
he,
there he
what
is
is
right
that thing?
there.
The bad guy from Ghostbusters 1? Who is that?
It looks like an enemy from TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the video game, or Metroid that's, like, bouncing on
Oh,
the
yeah,
ceiling,
yeah.
but
Yeah, I can see that.
this game, again, made by Sunsoft, has that sort of Sunsofty appeal to it. It's very close to another game that I played called Fester's Quest, and I don't think that game is on this list, but
It might
it
be.
could have been. It's
It
better than
might
a
be.
couple games on this list. Is it
It,
Fester's
it might
Quest?
it might be. I might have added it for you, buddy.
You might have pumped some Fest.
we're gonna fest it later. Don't you worry.
It's gonna pump fest.
Okay, so Blaster Master, where are we going to seed it? We have seeds 1 to 16. It was pretty high by IGN, 22nd overall.
Oh,
Where would
my
you like to
goodness.
place it? Yeah, this is a tough one.
This is a tough one.
Story sounded very lackluster, but the gameplay looked really fun. So
Yeah, I mean, it's fun, it's frustrating, but it's fair because if you have the original game and you have the instruction manual, they actually put a little playthrough guide in the instruction manual. They included
nice.
it. And if you didn't have that, it was tough figuring out where you had to go because you had to backtrack. You had to get power-ups in like level 7 in order to access a new area in level 1 that you couldn't get to. So you had to get the power-up, go all the way back to level 1 and access that area that you may or may not have known was there in the first place.
Huh. Well, that sounds confusing.
A little bit.
Where do you think it should rank? Is it better than Battletoads? Let's start
Yes,
there.
I would say it's better than I enjoyed it more than Battletoads.
So
So we could pump it at 8 for right now if you wanted to.
Okay. Let's leave it at 8 because there's no way it's touching Adventure Island 2. But it's like I think it's in the same ballpark.
No way it's touching Adventure Island 2.
Sorry. It made a fan. Is that Blasted Maestro?
No, that's Adventure Island theme song.
It's Blasted Maestro. Is it Blasted Master? Is it Blasted Master? That would have been way better of a name.
It could be Blasted Maestro, depending on how you pronounce it.
Ooh.
Deathstro from G.I. Joe.
Yeah, now Hasbro's after us. Thank you very much.
Come get me. Make me into a character.
You can find me. Yeah, definitely. You're gonna be a video game character soon enough.
Pump me, yes.
What is next?
Get a Funko Pop of me.
The people need it. The people are gonna want it. It is going to sell.
A Maestro Funko Pop.
Next, we have Bubble Bobble. Bubble Bobble. Try to say that 5 times fast.
Bubble Bobble.
1988's Bubble Bobble. It was a platform game. All Game gave it 4.5 out of 5, and IGN's top 100, 23rd overall. So I did not play this at all, but it was a really funny looking game. This looks really strange. Did you ever play Bubble Bobble?
Yeah, I had my fair share of experience with Bubble Bobs.
What's going on there?
It harkens back to I don't know, some of the earlier games like Atari games where the level layout was very simple, but it was fun and addicting. And I think you beat the game and it changed a bit. The programmers added some different things when you beat the game. It was fun. I didn't play it a whole lot. It was one of the earlier games that I pumped. So I didn't have a ton of memorable experiences with it, but I definitely recall playing it.
Is he a dragon? A lizard? What?
I think he's a bubble dragon.
Oh, of course.
That's right.
Which
look at that.
And he's bubbling around and he's jumping up.
Yeah.
And
those things look like they have wind-up keys on them. Like toys.
Tinker toys. And so he shoots them, they turn into a bubble. That actually looks like pretty fun gameplay. I can see why IGN
they turn into fruit, and then he eats the fruit. His bubbles turn them into fruit. The toys into fruit. Yes.
And then what happens?
Then he eats them, and then he survived.
That's how you had to survive. In 1988, times were tough.
It was tough,
like,
man.
It was not a good year.
You didn't have a whole lot to look forward to. You're a dragon with pink arms.
And you love fruit.
Just going around turning people into fruit and eating them.
IGN's top 100, 23rd overall. So they really like that game. What are we gonna do here? This is one of the tough ones.
IGN did like that game.
IGN liked that game. It looked like fun. I didn't remember it. It's tough to say where to put it.
Oh man,
this is where we need you. Chat, please comment.
I don't see anyone. I don't see anyone in the chat right now.
Maestro, what do you think?
Oh man, Bubble Bobbus. Where are we gonna pump this? We're gonna pump up. Well, since we have to like weigh IGN's clout in this, maybe, but neither one of us have played this game. Is like this is fantastic. This has to be high. So we might have to subjectivize this a little bit.
Yeah, 4.5 out of 5 from All Game also. So they liked it as well. 4.5 out of 5. That would be a 90%. So
are we gonna double up on some of these games here? We would have to, wouldn't we?
Oh yeah, no. There's 4. There's 4 of each seed. So let's
pump this. Let's keep it right there where you have it. That seems pretty fair.
Like it at 9.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like it at 9.
It seems like it is a good game. We're not doing it justice, but like you said, if we didn't play it, there's really not much else we can do.
See, this is where we need some input from.
The chat will
potential chat members.
Yeah, I think it's better than Battletoads. I mean, I think Blaster Master. I think that's like a good spot, like a good comparison. We'll have them both be 8 seeds. That seems fair.
All right.
Okay, so that was a Bubble Bobble. Okay, coming up next, what do we have? We are getting. We have some great games. These are like
lightsaber in the way over here.
What is going on over there?
Just moving my lightsaber.
Where'd you put it?
Oh, hit the mic. I was thinking of actually putting a shotgun microphone inside of this and like
inside the lightsaber.
Yeah, and using that as a microphone.
Let us know in chat how he sounds. He is obsessed with finding out how he sounds. He loves to know how he sounds.
Oh yeah, how's that
sound? Yeah, chat thinks you sound great as always. Okay, so the next game, Castlevania 3, 1990, made by Konami. They obviously have a lot of games on the list. 4.5 out of 5 from All Game. IGN's top 100, 5th overall. So the 5th greatest game that Nintendo ever came out with, according to IGN. This was a great game. This was a fun game. Obviously, there were previous Castlevania versions, but I think this was the best one. And this was just a lot of fun. Do you have any memories of Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse?
Do I? This was my favorite Castlevania game too, or as well, so to speak. But before we pump into the meat of this game, we got to talk about the cover art.
Oh, sure. Let's look at it.
So if we're critiquing the cover art here, and this is a fun thing to do, it looks like a book, doesn't it? It looks like the cover of like a paperback book.
Oh, definitely.
The font, it's the cover art, and of course that little sticker in there that says "Win a trip to Dracula's hometown."
Details inside. So, what do you think a trip to Dracula's hometown in 1990 would entail?
Well, I'm not sure where they're sending this small child. Are they shipping them off to Transylvania? Are they just going to Romania? Wallachia?
Well, where would that be a place to send a child? Does that seem like a winning contest like type of reward?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think they'd have a lot of fun in Transylvania.
Here you go. No blood, no bread, no water. Good luck. Sleep on the floor.
I want McDonald's. There's totally no McDonald's here.
There's not a McDonald's within 500 miles of here.
I want to play video games. Sorry, we don't have that either. Here's a castle.
Oh. Good luck. Yeah, you don't want to go in there, kid.
Yeah, just a little kid walking up with like a whip. I'm like, get him.
I want to recreate the game. Is this where I go? Sure, kid. Go right in there.
Whip some skeletons. Is that cool, Mom?
Oh, that seems like no place for a child. So what a weird contest. Yeah, why would they do that?
I could imagine them just like whipping random walls to see if pork chops fall out, or just whipping candelabras. You have to stop whipping. This is expensive, but I've got to power up my dagger. Gotta fight Frankenstein.
Oh, what a weird contest. But what a great game. Dracula's
Yes.
Curse, Castlevania 3.
Dracula's Curse, Castlevania 3.
5th overall, IGN's top 100.
Yes,
That's pretty impressive.
This game, again, departed from the more story RPG elements of Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest, and took everything that was great about the first Castlevania and retooled it. The format, even the layout, the heads-up display, everything was more Castlevania 1. Not only did you get to pump as, I think there was Trevor. Yeah, Trevor. You played as Trevor in this one. I always get all the Belmonts mixed up. And the first one was Simon. And the first one, in the first one, I think it was Trevor too. No, maybe. Or was it Rick? No, it was Simon. I think the first one was Simon. I think the second one was Simon. I think the third one was Trevor. You played as Trevor, which is like a prequel to the second one. And then there was another one where you played as Richter. Richter, yeah. Okay. Anyway, correct me if I'm wrong. There's a lot of Belmonts floating around. So you're Trevor Belmont. It's probably the most skilled with the whip. And you got to be Sifa too, Sifa, which is a wizard. And she was really fun to play with. She really made this game fun. And you also got to pick up Grant, who could climb on walls and throw daggers. And you also got to pump Alucard, which is Dracula's son. And he was able to turn into a bat and get you across caverns and into doorways very easily. But being able to choose all those different play styles and getting all those different power-ups was an extremely fun mechanic and gave the game a lot of replay value. So, in my opinion, everything that was awesome about the first Castlevania expounded to the nth degree.
So I agree with you. This was a great game. It was the best Castlevania, and it came with a trip to Transylvania. So, like, how can you go wrong with that? This has got to be near the very top. I think it's the best game we've reviewed so far by a mile. My first thought was number 2 seed. It's up there.
That is up there. Number 2 seems like I know there's a lot of good games that haven't pumped up yet, but we could put Castlevania at
IGN's top 100, 5th overall, sir.
5th overall. 2 or 3. Let's pump it at 2 or 3.
Okay, well, we'll put it at 2 for now. We can always bump it up. There will be 4 1 seeds. So a number 2 seed sounds like it makes sense. It was a very fun game, but chat, we can move it later if you disagree with it. But I think a 2 seed is where it belongs for now.
Whip it
good
into shape.
So since we knocked out Castlevania 3, let's talk about the other Castlevania that made the list. Castlevania 1, the original, 1987, 80% on computer and video games, and IGN's top 100 gave it a 19th place. So very solid first effort, came out in 19th place overall. This was also a really fun game. I think Castlevania 3, as we mentioned previously, Castlevania 3 was better. But this was also a really good game. I think it got the series off on a strong foot. And let me find some footage of the original Castlevania. And as you can see, it's pretty similar to 3. 3 improved on a few things. But what did you think of the original Castlevania?
Well, I have a lot of fond memories of the original Castlevania as well. In fact, I probably played this one more than any of the Castlevanias. I've attempted to speedrun this game many times, and even though it has a reputation of being very challenging, which it is, if you know what you're doing and, get the holy water, because you need the holy water. If you don't got the holy water, you ain't speedrunning this game. But I've beaten this game a couple different times, and once you get the hang of it, take advantage of all the quirkiness, the critical hits, the different warps, and how to abuse the power-ups, It can be a lot of fun. It's a whole different way to play this game, and in my opinion, it's a funner way to play this game is to try to speed run it. But this game, when it came out in Japan, was called something weird like Devil's Castle, Dracula, Bordello of Blood, some sort of weirdness like that. And they didn't want to call it Devil's Castle. It was they might have even called it like Satan's Castle or something weird like that. And they didn't think it would resonate as well with American audiences. So they tried
Yeah,
to think up
I think Castlevania is a better name.
yeah, so they tried to think up a new name and they came up with Castlevania. And that's a great name. And this was an early title for the NES too, and it's still one of the best. It's a stone cold classic in my opinion. I would pick up and play this game any day of the week and give this game a playthrough. That's in the music. You can't talk about Castlevania without mentioning the music. The music in these games is just so good. It sets the atmosphere. Without the music, these games would not be the same. Sort of the same like with classic Star Wars. Without John Williams' score, Star Wars wouldn't be Star Wars. Without the music, Castlevania wouldn't be Castlevania. I have a ton of fond memories for this game, and I would pump this high up too.
What are we going to do? I think it is. I think it's a little bit worse. Will you agree that Castlevania 3 is a little bit better?
Yes, I will concede that.
So, where versus Bionic Commando? Do you think it's a little bit better than Bionic Commando?
That's tough.
Yeah,
I would
really
put
is.
it on the same level as Bionic Commando at number
Right.
5.
Man, I'm not sure we're doing those two games justice. They might even be higher than that, but we'll leave them at 5 for now. We can always change that later.
You can always pump them.
Why are you disrespecting those games? That's what people are going to say. All right. So the next game you wanted me to add to this list. So I hope you have something good on this one because I don't remember this at all. This is 1990s Clash at Demon Head. Now, this game, they termed it Metroidvania. So I'm assuming it's a combination of Metroid and Castlevania, which are two great games. So you can't really go wrong if you are taking those two games and using them. All Game gave it 2.5 out of 5. It was unranked in the top 100. I don't remember this game at all. And so you're going to have to enlighten me and the viewers about Clash of Demon Head, please.
Okay, well, man, I had a lot of fun with this game, and it's a crime. It's a crime, I tell you, that this game is unranked by IGN's top 100. That's a complete disservice. This is a video game, and what I mean by that is all the fun video game tropes are in here that make video games sort of fun and quirky. And even the cutscenes, look at that. See, that's Tom right there. He's the bad guy. Tom Guycott. See, Tom Guycott. So the main character of this game is named Billy Big Bang Blitz.
Okay, that's a great name. I'll give him that.
And he's part of a secret society that goes on missions, and Tom Guycott, you see him right there.
Oh yeah,
he's the bad guy of this militia group, and you actually kind of kill him in the beginning, or no, he gets killed by another guy. So you actually release a demon, and the demon goes and kills Tom Guycott, and then you find Tom Guycott kind of dead. He's like, "Oh, I'm dead now. You got to get the demon." So you have to get the demon who kidnapped a scientist who made a bomb that will destroy the entire world. And you have to gather equipment, information, and level up to get your way all the way to the top of Demon Head Mountain to save the professor and disarm this bomb, or everyone dies. And
thanks a lot, Tom Guycott.
Yeah, Metroidvania. Let me explain that a little bit.
Sure, why not?
So Metroidvanias are games that are kind of free roam. So when they say the Castlevania part Vania, they mean Castlevania 2 and Metroid with a big map system. It's not linear. Basically not linear. It's a non-linear adventure game. You can kind of pick where you want to go, backtrack, go to the store, power up, go to the different levels you want to, and kind of figure out where you're supposed to go based on clues. That's what a Metroidvania is. And man, I love playing this game. This game was so much fun.
It sounds like you love it.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted me to include it on the list. I had never even heard of it before.
Oh,
So
and it was also the name of a band on Scott Pilgrim versus the World, I believe. I think the
I'm
name of
glad you brought that up because that's what I know it from.
the
One of my favorite movies, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. That was the band that his ex-girlfriend was the lead singer of.
Yes. Clash at Demon Head.
Yeah, that is a great name. It's a great name. You got Tom Guycott, which is also like a lot of fun. What was the name of the hero?
Billy Big Bang Blitz.
Yeah, it was Billy Big Bang Blitz.
It's just so much fun. You're playing as Billy Big Bang Bits. Billy Big Bang. That's even worse than Bubble Bobble. Billy Big Bang Blitz.
Oh, that is a great name. Okay, so I'm gonna have to lean on you for this one, buddy, because I didn't play this at all. Where
All
are
right.
we
Well,
putting it? Where are we putting it?
I don't know where IGN got off not ranking this game, but gosh, I would. It's so hard because I'm very subjective about this game. I love playing
Yeah,
this game, and it just the story, the anime style story. You know what it kind of reminded me of? The art style was almost like Dragon Ball Gundam. That's what it reminded me of, and that's probably part of what really endeared me to this game. You didn't get a whole lot of games like that, and it had strong story elements. And I just don't get why this game wasn't ranked by IGN. But what do I know? I'm just a fan. I'm not.
you loved the game, and that's really what it's about, like the fun memories and the good times you had. And it looked like a fun game, but I just rated so poorly by All Game and IGN.
Old game, man.
2.5 out of 5. All Game gave it.
I'm gonna say this one has a spot right next to Adventure Island 2.
Get out! A number 7 seed.
Yes.
A game that IGN thought was trash. I've never heard of. Nobody in chat stepping up for it. And the most famous thing about it is it was a band from Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Hey man, they like the name so much. They pumped it.
I give it up for the name. They did the names right in that game. Okay, so if you think 7, my first thought was 13, so that averages out to about a 10. So,
okay, I'll concede that.
Sorry, buddy. That's like I thought. I originally thought it might be even lower than that, but we'll keep it at 10, and we'll pump it in the comments. If anyone has ever heard of or played this game, please let us know because I am not familiar with that at all.
I mean, you could get different suits, powered up suits to pump you through water. You could fly. You could power up and punch people. You got lots of magic powers. I mean, this was a fun game. Lots of different power.
It had Tom Guycott. I mean, come on, people.
It had Time Guycott, which I've heard is some sort of onomatopoeia or play on words in the Japanese language, but I haven't researched that enough to know exactly what it is. But I could if you guys really want me to.
No one is asking. Tom Guycott is going to be a number 10 seed. So
Tom Guycott got pumped by the demon anyway. He's a skeleton.
Oh, okay, yeah. The Billy Blitz.
Guycott.
Billy Blitz is the hero.
Yeah.
Sorry, Billy. Billy, you're a number 10 seed. But so here's the fun thing. So when we do the tournament on Wednesday, if it gets a couple of matchups, if it gets the people's support, Clash at Demon Head could go a couple rounds. So
I think I'm gonna have to rally support. I'm gonna have to really rally and petition.
If you like and subscribe to this channel, you will get to pick an individual matchup in the tournament. Otherwise, we will do it based on our votes and the votes in chat. But if you like or subscribe, you will get to pick the winner of an individual matchup. And
if you want me to play any particular game, I'll do that too. I'll give a review on any particular game because I have them all.
He has all 64 of these games, people. That's impressive. Okay, so then I'm guessing you definitely have our next game, Contra 1988. This was also made by Konami. IGN's Top 100 gave it a 12th overall, and Game Rankings 90%. And what a cover, an iconic cover. They're ripping off 2 popular movie franchises with Predator and Arnold Schwarzenegger and the Xenomorph from Alien. And this game just makes you want to take your shirt off. I'm sorry, but it does. It's that much fun. And I just had a lot of fun playing this game as a kid. I'm sure a lot of you did. This was a very popular game. Let me pull up some footage.
B-roll activate.
And here we go. Now, this was like, look at this. Like, this is what being an action hero in the 80s was all about. You were facing off against a corporation of bad guys, and they had all the weapons in the world, and you had a headband and no shirt, and you just went to town. Talk about Contra, will you please?
Oh man, Contra. Where do I even begin? The front cover, I mean, looks nothing like those two guys, but hey, I think they look pretty good. Don't have a cigar or a toothbrush. It looks like they just got up and are.
Let's stand back to back. Take a picture right now.
That's why
Do
they
it.
don't have. That's why they don't have any shirts on. They just woke up. They got their jammy pants on, and
Dude, I'm the blonde guy. You can be the green haired guy.
yeah,
What do you say?
and the Red Falcon attacked, and we didn't have any time to get ready. We just got our guns and ran out the door with a toothbrush. The cover art, the dude kind of looks like a blend between Arnold Schwarzenegger and Val Kilmer.
Oh,
Back
yeah, definitely.
Back in the 80s. But yeah, that they were definitely going for an Arnie look. In fact, that particular shot there looks like it was taken straight from the Predator movie.
Oh, definitely.
If you ask me. And there's definitely Xenomorph
Oh, yeah.
inspiration there for sure. They were definitely going for that. And why not? That was a popular thing back then.
Oh, for sure.
And any kid worth their salt looked at this and was like, yes, give me, I want to play this. And
Definitely.
they were absolutely right, because they not only nailed the cover art, they nailed the gameplay, they nailed this. Well, whatever story there was here wasn't much of a story. I was about to say they nailed the story, but
didn't matter. Didn't need it.
Killing things is fun. That was the story.
Right?
And if playing this game and discovering what different weapons you could get, eventually everyone discovered that you needed the spread gun. If you got the spread gun, then you were pretty much invincible unless you got hit and then you died. But the speedrunning community for this game is really healthy. And I've watched a couple speed runs, and some of the mashing techniques that these guys use. And that was the other thing. There was no automatic fire for this game. And in a lot of speedrunning rules, automatic fire or turbo controllers were outlawed. So you had to really master the rhythm of your spread gun. And there's all these different mathematical calculations. You can only have so many bullet sprites on the screen at once. So you had to time your button presses very rhythmically to get the maximum amount of bullets on the screen at once. And anyway, that's a whole other tangent. But this game is a lot of fun. Shooting things is fun. And what made this game really good is the controls. The controls are precise. They weren't sticky or laggy. They were quick, responsive. And that's a big part of what makes a game good, especially a platformer game like this, where you can be just killed at any second. The music in this game was good. Beating levels was fun. The bosses were fun. The variations of some of the levels were fun. I know going into the bases and shooting at the hallways, the perspective changed a little bit, and they kind of kept that narrative in subsequent games. But again, this game is one of my favorites, and I would play this game anytime.
So grab the spread gun, take off your shirt, and let's find a ranking for Contra.
That's right. Spread.
And you didn't even talk about the Konami code. So
that's right, the Konami code. I forgot the Konami code. Up, up, down, down, left, right, B, A, select, start.
That's awesome. What a game. I'm thinking it's got to be, you think a number 2 seed?
Sure. Well, maybe number 3.
Wow.
I'm going to say number 3.
You wax poetic for 3.5 minutes about how awesome this game is. You want to take your shirt off. You're so excited. And then I'll just put it at number 3.
I could wax poetic about fountain pen ink. I mean, that doesn't
yeah, but would you take your shirt off, though?
I would dump it all over myself, especially the shimmering ink.
Good luck getting that off.
Yeah.
All right, so oh no, come on. I'm gonna override you. I'm gonna put it at a 2 seed. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness.
I think it is one of the best games of all time. It has to be a little bit higher. I'm gonna put it at 2.
Where's all my peeps? Come to my rescue.
Contra was excellent game. Okay, so this one was this next game is I don't think it is an excellent game. I didn't really play it, and I don't have any memories of it, but it got ranked pretty high, so I had to include it on the list.
Oh no.
We are going to go alphabetically ordered to 1990s Chrysalis, made by SNK, the
Oh,
same company
yes.
that made Baseball Stars.
Chrysalis. That's
GameSpot, 8 out of 10. IGN's Top 100, 42. So this is a role-playing game, which was getting really popular in like the late 80s. And let me see. I know I have some footage of this one. It looked really weird, but again, this is from someone who never played it. I can't comment too much on it, but it looked like it could be fun. It's like a Zelda type clone. Do you remember Chrysalis at all?
So I haven't pumped this game, and it's a game I've been meaning to pump. There's another game on this list that we discussed last time and that I have recently pumped, and I might have to revise my previous opinion on it.
Oh,
actually.
really? Interesting. Oh, that's spoiler alert. He's got a hot take coming up.
So this game right here, I'm willing to pump this game too because I haven't pumped this game and I'm a fan of RPGs. So I'm willing to give this game a pump and we might have to revisit this game. But as of right now, I do not have any experience with this game.
Okay. Nope, me either. It looked fun. 8 out of 10 GameSpot, IGN's Top 142. So I think 42 kind of puts it in like around this area. So I think how about an 11 seed seems like a good spot.
That works for me.
And again, like chat, if you disagree, let me know. Otherwise, we're going to keep it at 11 and maybe they'll get hot and get a good matchup tomorrow or Wednesday in the tournament. Oh, coming up next. Speaking of wanting to fight and take your shirt off, like
that one always leads to the other, doesn't it? It's
just so for people that don't know me, I was really into like fighting games, really into like side scroll beat 'em up type games, and this is another one of them. And I found it on the list. We are going to pump up a Double Dragon.
Oh yeah,
2 Acclaim. It's a beat 'em up game. IGN's Top 100 didn't get so much love. 83rd place. Based on the hit arcade game. So the arcade game came first, and this is just a classic side-scrolling beat 'em up game, and it was a lot of fun. Do you remember Double Dragon 2?
I do remember Double Dragon 2, and I think IGN missed the mark on this one too. This is definitely much higher up on the list than 83. Double Dragon 2, in my opinion, is the best of the NES trilogy, not counting Double Dragon and Battletoads, which was a game too. But this game you could play with a friend. It was a 2-player game, and the mechanics were slightly different. You could press the A button to kick and punch in front of you, or the B button to kick behind you, like you just saw right there. But the controls felt tighter to me. It was fun playing with a friend. They figured out how to get 4 characters on the screen at once. That's part of the reason why in the first game it was just single player, was because they could only have 3 sprites on the screen at once, which was your character and 2 bad guys. You could have 2 characters, but then there would just be you, a friend, and 1 bad guy at any one time, which wouldn't be very fun.
No.
But yeah, IGN definitely pumped this one. It's definitely higher than 83.
Yeah.
Getting up your this game, I believe you got some experience points and you got more powerfuler, and you got some moves unlocked. Playing through this game, it wasn't a long playthrough, but it was fun and you could play with your friends. And I think you were saving your fiance in this one.
Or that sounds right.
The first one, I think you saw a cutscene where the dudes just walk up, punch her in the gut, and
just grab her
and just walk away with her, which is like, jeez, man, yeah. Nintendo, you let that one go? You didn't just watch the opening cutscene?
But that made you want it even more. You were so mad you had to destroy this entire.
Yep, and then the big rolling garage doors flew up from behind there. Then there they are.
The guys would just filter out.
Yeah, Billy and Jimmy Lee ready to pump, and they wore those vests that with no shirts on, which is a look.
Oh yeah,
just like a waistcoat with no shirt.
Oh yeah,
that's my beaten up people look.
Oh man, this was just thinking about this. This was a great game. I really like
Dun,
this
dun,
too.
dun, dun,
All
dun,
right, IGN.
dun,
What
dun,
did
dun,
you do?
dun,
83rd?
dun,
Come
dun,
on.
dun, 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 dun,
All
dun.
right. So what do you?
Jimmy
Oh man,
and Jimmy Lee.
I had a lot of good times with this.
I'm looking
think?
at number 6, right by Batman. That
Right
seems
by
like a good
Batman.
spot. Yeah, right by Batman.
Okay. Double Dragon, the Revenge. Double Dragon 2, the Revenge. We're gonna have it. We're gonna pump it as a 6 seed. All right.
Yeah,
So
Double Dragon.
speaking of double, good. See what I did there? A segue. Double Dribble.
Oh,
1987. Did they just do that with all their games?
yeah. Oh, that's right. This is a game where you named it after a violation.
I know. It's like Double Dribble. Okay, so I guess traveling was taken.
Yeah.
NHL's offsides.
Even on the cover art there, that's obviously goaltending happening right there.
NBA's goaltending.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like, what is going on here? This all game gave it a 5 out of 5. IGN's top 100 had it unranked. Do you remember Double Dribble?
Yeah, I've pumped this a couple times. Bubble beer bottle. I don't know why I called it bubble beer bottle, because I just blended bubble bobble and double dribble together in my head as a kid. This actually happened. So I would just say bubble beer bottle.
Charge.
Beer bottle.
Okay, so as you can see, this is
charging.
This is the gameplay right here. And there weren't any that was it right there. It was the cutscenes. You go to the cutscene for a dunk, and that's exciting. That's pretty much all you were trying to do. Really, the basketball world changed when NBA Jam came out a couple years later. So this was a fun game, but you're not going to play it for too long. If you have a buddy over, you could pump it for maybe a couple hours. But I don't think this game was fantastic. So I don't think it's going to do any damage in the tournament. I'm going to say. So where do you have it versus Blades of Steel? Do you think it's better?
In all honesty, I would. There's another basketball game called Arch Rivals, and I think that's actually
I remember that
better basketball game than this, where you could actually punch people. It was funny as hell. It was so funny.
We like the violent games here, people.
Yep, you could just run and punch the person with the basketball. It was just so much funner. So I would, if I could substitute Double Dribble for Arch Rivals, I would. But as it is, I think number 14 is a good spot for it.
Yeah, it's not that good a game, but it was. For the time, it was okay. The cutscenes are where it's at, and if you're relying on some cutscenes to make a great game, it's probably not that great after all. So, unfortunately, I don't think that's a very good game. But we have some more good games coming up. Let me find this next one. Okay, here we go. This is what you guys came for. Dragon Warrior, 1989, made by Nintendo. It's a role-playing game. GameSpot called it the most influential RPG of all time. In IGN's top 100, 8th overall. So this is big time, people. Most influential of all time. There's no like getting around it. All time. Dragon Warrior. Do you remember this one at all?
So this is the game I played recently.
And
over the last week, I pumped this game. And I have to issue an apology.
Yeah, you didn't speak too highly of it last time we talked.
This game is Red Slime Draws Near. And this game is a lot better than we both originally thought it was. And the what really blew me away about this game is the dialogue boxes. The translation is just really, really good, better than I would expect from an early RPG like this. And it was all period. Like they would say, "Thou wish to buy us a herb from the store?" And then you would say, "Yes, I wish to buyeth an herb from the store." And it was very immersive. I was very, very surprised. Grinding is a big part of this game. You have to get more powerful, get your spells up. The red slime, there's one of the weakest enemies in the game.
Drew near.
Beating the Dragon Lord was a lot of fun, and this game actually was not called Dragon Warrior in Japan. This game was called Dragon Quest. And for some reason they changed the name in the United States to Dragon Warrior. I think there was something else. Oh, there was a board game, like a Dungeons and Dragons board game called Dragon Quest that was popular at the time. And so they didn't want to conflict with that, so they changed the name of this game to Dragon Warrior. But all subsequent games are Dragon Quest. And those are some of everyone's favorite RPGs actually of all time. So that was a big mistake. There's a lot of Dragon Quest games. A lot of them are very good. Dragon Warrior was the one that kind of kicked them all off. And yes, Final Fantasy and Enix and Squaresoft drew from this game to make a lot of their RPGs. So I gotta say I'm sorry. That was wrong of me to lowball Dragon Warrior, and this game is definitely one of the most influential RPGs of all time.
No, it's not one of the most. It is
Oh,
the
oh,
most.
It is the most.
It is the most. So you have the beginning of time, you have the end of time. Nothing will ever be more influential than this, according to GameSpot. So
there's Adam and Eve, and then there was the Dragon Warrior.
Yes.
Along with them.
And then after that, nothing will ever be more influential than that.
That's why there's no dragons around, because the Dragon Warrior killed them before they had a chance.
Oh, so like IGN's top 100, 8th overall. Like this is a heavy hitter, people. Where are we going to put this? So you had a change of heart. You realize the error of your ways. You think this is a mega game. Where are we going to put it?
I didn't know what I was talking about when we pumped this before.
The red slime. The red slime gets you every time.
Yeah, there's different slimes. There's blue slime, and there's even metal slime. There's a metal slime that is actually.
Now you're talking crazy.
Yeah, you have to defeat the metal slime and werewolves and magicians.
3, 4? What do you think?
Let's keep it at number 4 for right now. I think that's a good spot.
That is a good spot. So Dragon Warrior 3? Dragon Warrior?
Dragon Warrior.
Dragon Warrior. So you got to play it. You got to play it recently. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I did. I did play it recently.
And you realized?
I realized the error of my ways, guys.
Did you get to fight the red slime?
I did fight the red. I fought so many red slimes.
You're
so
sliming.
so many red slimes. I just slayed and destroyed.
There's slime everywhere.
There was slime all over the place. I would go into town just covered in slimes. It was just like a rainbow of slimes.
If you want to put in chat what you guys think of it, please do. We're moving on to the next game. This is Dr. Mario 1990. It's a puzzle game. It's a 51st on IGN's top 100. All Game gave it a 4 out of 5. Dr. Mario, in my memory, this was just a Tetris ripoff. What do you think, Maestro?
Yeah, this was definitely capitalized on the popularity of Tetris for sure, with a little reworked mechanic on trying to pump some viruses, of course. I think you got to pick the virus level. Having to line up the different colors with the virus to pump them was unique.
Yeah. So yeah, it's different than Tetris, but same concept, and just throw in some colors and attach a Mario name to it.
Yeah, it was like Tetris with Mario, pretty much. It was fun. It was fun for a little bit, but I don't think it was my favorite by any stretch.
I think it was at a time where they're just going to slap Mario's name on anything and pump it out there. And to me, it was fun, but like you said, it's nothing that lasted. I think Tetris has survived and is still playable to this day. But Dr. Mario, no one's playing that anymore.
Yeah, Dr. Mario was a pill pusher. I don't think he was a real doctor.
Wait, what? That's Slime Ball?
Yeah, I mean, look at his getup right there. He's got the little reflector thing that dentists wear on his head, and then he's got a stethoscope. Dentists don't have stethoscopes. And then he's got a clipboard and a thermometer. He's a mess. This Mario is not a real doctor.
Exactly. What kind of pills is he prescribing to these people?
He is pretending to be a doctor, and he is just throwing pills. If you go to Mario's doctor, if you go to Dr. Mario's office, you're walking out of there with whatever pills he had in the back. Take a handful of these and call me in the morning.
It works for whatever.
Just to take them. It kills the viruses. But
You don't even need a prescription. He just has it in the back for you.
But I have glaucoma. I'm not here for viruses. Just to take the pills.
I'm a doctor.
I'm a doctor. Trust me.
Wait a second. I thought you were a plumber, sir.
Shut up.
Do you need to see my medical license?
You don't know how many times I rescued a princess. That makes me a doctor.
Man, I'm surprised Chris Pratt got the role of Mario in the movie. Like, it should have been us. Like, we did a spot on Mario there.
I don't know why everyone's.
You did audition for it, I know.
Woo!
So I'm gonna think this is pretty low down here as well. What do you think?
Yeah, let's pump it close to the bottom, I would say. Let's pump it at 14 by Double Dribble there. There we go.
14?
Might as well just have right next to violations, sports violations, medical malpractice.
Yeah, what was he doing? Yeah, I guess as a kid you're not really thinking about that, but like, well, should he really be prescribing pills to people?
He's not prescribing anything. He's just like tossing them at you. Here you go.
Take this.
I'm gonna go buy Princess Tiffany's earrings now. He's just up in the. There's like a room in the back where there's a bunch of like old women with money counter.
Ziploc baggies.
Count faster. Daddy needs a new Ferrari.
What do I even pay you for?
Yeah. What did I even pay you? Yeah, I could send you back to China.
Oh, that's a weird game. Let's move on to the next one. A Duck Hunt, 1985. This came with the original Mario. I remember it from. This was 77th on IGN's Top 100. All game, it gave it a 3 out of 5. And like, to me, this had a lot of fun memories. Like, so it came with the Zapper gun that I know a lot of people had problems with it. It didn't work that great, but for me, it worked very well. Obviously, it wouldn't work with TVs nowadays, but it was like a pretty cool technology, especially for the time. And as you can see, it's pretty simple. The dog chases the ducks out, and you hit them. What do you think, Duck Hunt?
Well, looks like you get the video clip that you pulled here is without the zapper, because there definitely wasn't any crosshairs on there. I don't think there was a way to play this with, so I don't know what that I don't know.
Are you saying I doctored the footage, sir?
No, I'm just confused because I don't recall there ever being a crosshair on there, and I don't recall there ever being a way to play this without the zapper. So this must be some sort of emulated hack, I'm assuming.
Don't give away my secrets.
Man, oh man. It's the only way you could beat the game you have to play Duck Hunt with a mouse.
Do you remember you would get really close to the screen too, like in the tougher levels?
Yeah, because everyone was like, I'm so good at Duck Hunt. And they were just like right up to the screen with the blaster, just like, I'm a Deadeye, man.
Oh, yeah. It's like, yeah, I wonder what the official rules were. How far back do you have to stand to play this game? But it would get super boring and repetitive after a while. But for the time, it was pretty fun for kids getting to use a light zapper gun in your own house rather than an arcade. Like, I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it says European version right there on the box art that you have. So I don't know.
I wonder how that's different.
Maybe the European version does have that crosshair on there. I'm not sure.
Maybe the ducks were a little bit classier.
The ducks might have definitely been a bit classier for sure, brother.
Ooh la la.
Oh, yes, right. They could have been like down by the docks, Cockney ducks. You know. They could have sounded like this.
Are you gonna shoot us or what?
Hey, come on, mate. You couldn't eat nothing. You dag.
Where do you want to place Duck Hunt? This is a tough game to rank because, again, it's very repetitive, but it sold a ton of copies because it came with the original Super Mario Brothers, and it was like one of the launch titles. So
yeah, it came with Super Mario. I don't know how well it sold on its own.
Oh, probably not at all. But if you count those sales, it was probably one of the highest selling games of all time,
I
technically.
think there was also a skeet shooting game that was bundled in with there too.
Oh,
You
yeah.
could
Yep.
pump some skeets or pump some ducks. Obviously, the duck pumping was funner.
Obviously, everyone chose the Ducks.
They should have been called duck pump.
that might have sold just as well.
Pump some ducks. Thinking 12 is a good spot for that.
Can you do the dog laugh? What 12 was my first thought. What do you think?
That seems like an appropriate spot to me.
It wasn't a great game, but you know what was a great game? Segue there. I had a lot of fun with this show as a kid and with this game. It's 1989's DuckTales, made by Capcom. Okay, so this is going to be shocking. IGN's Top 100, 10th. A TV show turned into a game, was rated 10th overall by IGN. Electronic Gaming Monthly gave it 8 out of 10. And as you can hear, he's already singing the voice or singing the song from the show. This was a great game, a great show, a great song. Do you remember DuckTales?
Hey, DuckTales. Woo! Yeah.
Yeah, if anyone ever says DuckTales, you will somebody else will say
Woo! Danger out to find you, and there's a stranger right behind you. Yes.
What a game. Scrooge McDuck. Look at him go.
Yeah. Pumping a Scrooge McDuck was a lot of fun. And Capcom, again, they didn't just do fighting games. They made some really awesome platformers as well. And this was no exception. Pumping a Scrooge McDuck was a lot of fun. The platforming was tight, and beating up the Beagle Boys was always fun. I think that's what they were called. That little gang of Beagle Boys.
Oh yeah.
But did you know that Scrooge McDuck is like the richest fictional character in history?
What about the Monopoly guy?
Monopoly guy was in jail a lot, wasn't he?
Because those smart people, they can evade taxes.
God, Monopoly.
Why was he in charge of the 3 nephews? That's like a grim story. So I don't know. I don't remember the backstory of that.
Weren't those Donald Duck's nephews, and Scrooge McDuck was the uncle of Donald Duck? Isn't that how that worked? I think that's how that was.
And he got killed in Duck Hunt, and so he had to. So Scrooge had to take over.
That's right. It could be a weird revenge story. And oh god, that guy! I forgot about that guy. The pilot. What was his name?
Oh no, I can't.
I forgot his name.
Chat, if anyone remembers, please put in there. But yeah, that was that, and Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. There was a few good games, late 80s, early 90s that were TV shows. It was really weird. You wouldn't think that would be a thing.
A robot in the program where there's like a secret word that you said it was like blathering blatherskite, and this robot turned off blathering blatherskite. Am I making that up, or do you remember that? I'm making that. I'm not making.
It was in the phase of youth where what?
Roboduck. Some sort of Roboduck. Blathering blatherskite. Maybe that was on Darkwing Duck. I'm not sure.
You're trying to take away from this awesome game by adding Roboduck, but this was an awesome game. My first thought was, is it better than? Oh my gosh, is it better than Castlevania and Bionic Commando? Maybe. My first thought was 4, but then when I see these at 5, these might have to get bumped up later. But what do you think?
Oh man, let's put it at number. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, I'm thinking 6, but I don't want to put it there. I'm thinking of let's put it at number 5. Let's keep it at number 5 there with Bionic Commando and Castlevania.
Oh, that's an epic number 5 seed, right? An epic list of number 5 seeds right there.
Stranger behind you, a stranger right behind you.
Wait, where's the stranger?
Right behind you.
Woo-hoo. Oh man, now that's going to be stuck in my head the rest of the night. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Next game, 1990s Excite Bike. So this was made by Nintendo. This was a really fun game too. IGN's top 100. I couldn't believe this. 14th overall, which
Ooh.
seems really high. All game gave it a 5 out of 5. This was a fun game. I don't think it's that high. I don't think it should be ranked 14th overall, but this was a solid game. Like, I don't want to take anything away from this game. This was a lot of fun, and I remember pumping it as a kid and just being able to design your own levels. Like, that was something that as a kid in a race car game, you didn't really see that before that. So it was unique, it was original, and I just had a lot of fun with it. I know you made some levels as a kid, didn't you?
Yeah, I bumped some levels with this, mostly to frustrate my younger brother. I would just make all speed bumps the entire, and then I would mix in the little speed strips so it would just force you to wipe out
Boom, boom, boom.
constantly, or just make the entire track those little dirt patches. Just the most monotonous track. This track sucks. It's
Yeah, well, like he would have to go into the other room and you design the track, and he
Yeah.
comes back in and what'd you design for me? Oh,
Play the track, man. Come on, play it.
oh,
And
so
then they're just laughing. It sucks. You gotta play it.
yeah, good luck. But that was a fun game. It was
Oh,
I wouldn't say it's anything that like changed the world or anything, but like it was like just fun, which is in a video game a lot of times what you're looking for.
yeah, it was fun. Racing not just by yourself, but with a group and being able to wipe them out with your back wheel is kind of fun.
Oh,
The dude looked a little weird. The music was kind of, again, it was one of those early titles for Nintendo. The black cover art gives that away. There was the black and then the silver, and then
yeah, I don't think it
the
was 1990. It said 84 there, so I'm not sure when it came out, but it was a solid game, but I don't think anything spectacular. So my
Yeah.
initial thought was like in the mid, like in the middle rankings here. What do
In
you
the
think?
middle rankings. Yeah, let's
Mid,
how
right
about
beside you,
baby pump
excite bike.
inside you. Let's pump it at number 9 with Battletoads. How about that?
That seems fair. Yeah, I think it's the definition of mid. It's just like it's a good game. It's not spectacular. It's not going to change the world or anything, but you'll have fun with it. And if someone says, "Hey, let's play Excite Bike," they'll play it with you.
Let's play Pump Bike.
he comes in. You want to get excited? You're like, yeah.
Oh, I'm already excited.
Well, speaking of getting excited, I think
Oh.
you might get excited for Fact Xanadu.
Oh.
1989, 75% on game rankings. IGN's top 100, 36. Oh, a weird name, Fact Xanadu. I don't know,
Yeah.
like if they're going to win anybody over with that. Daggers and wing boots. Oh my.
Daggers and
Maestro,
Wings is pretty
Maestro,
fun.
what do you think about this game?
So, this game is a lot of fun, and the name comes from the combination of Xanadu and Famicom.
Ah, okay.
So, Famicom was the Nintendo in Japan, and there was already a game called Xanadu, and they just combined Xanadu and Famicom and made Fact Xanadu. This game is reminiscent of Zelda's Adventure, Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link, and that it's a side scroller adventure game. You got to collect armor, weapons, magic, explore dungeons and castles, defeat bosses, level up. It was a fun game, and I played it. You would go into shops, buy keys, buy meat, get different titles like warrior, soldier, commander, things like that. And the wing boots were a big part of this game. You needed those wing boots, or you'd never get up there without those wing boots. And
Well,
the point of this game is you had to restore the different fountains because the world was drying up and the magic fountains were being plugged by a demon that was sitting on them or something like that. I don't recall that part, but you had to go beat up the demon, the bad guy, the evil supreme overlord, to get the fountains running, and then the king would be like, "Thank you," and then you were a hero, and then you went on your merry way. But everything in the interim was a blast to me. I had a lot of fun playing this game.
yeah, it looks like a fun game. It looks solid. Weird name aside, it got 36th overall on IGN's top 100, so it was by no means a stinker. What are we going to do with this chat? If you have any opinions on Fact Xanadu, please let us know. We have to decide where we're putting it.
Fuck Zana, don't.
Fact Xana, do you have an opinion?
Yeah. I would, goodness.
Yep. This is what we're here for. This is the
Yeah.
tough.
I am very subjective about this. I'd put this at number 7.
Wow. It's better than Blaster Master. It's better than Bubble Bobble.
I would think so, yes.
Okay. I will take your word for it, sir. Chat, let us know, but it's for now it's going to be a 7 seed, and that's like high praise because Adventure Island 2, if you remember, that one was a winner.
Notice that
Okay.
Jay vehemently defends the game.
Oh, till the end of this tournament, I will always be all about Adventure Island 2.
Putting
Master Wiggins.
Tecmo Bowls, number 16.
Okay, so this is a game that I included late because I knew it would cheer up Maestro. Fester's Quest, possibly the weirdest cover art of any game ever.
He looks like he's watching Pornhub.
Who would see this? Who would see this cover and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna get this for my kids." But if anyone's familiar with Addams Family, I know they just rebooted Wednesday Addams on Netflix. So
great series. I like that.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
So Uncle Fester was part of that. Fred Armisen played him, but back then, Uncle Fester was even weirder. He had a spider crawling on his forehead. Didn't do anything about it. 5 out of 10 on Electronic Gaming Monthly. IGN's top 100 gave it 45th, so they think it's pretty solid. It was made by Sunsoft, which is obviously had a few games on the list. Do you have any memories of Fester's Quest?
Oh, yeah, I do have some memories on Fester's Quest. It has that Sunsoft feel to it, and what I mean is they must have hired the same composer for all their music because all their music sounds the same. They use the ubiquitous plot of aliens came and kidnapped person X, and now you have to go rescue person X. In this case, it was Gomez Addams, and you being the older brother are tasked with saving him. Now, the hard part about this game is in the North American version, all of your weapons couldn't pass through objects, so they would get hung up in small hallways, and it would hit the sides of the hallway and stop, and it made it almost impossible to hit enemies in narrow hallways. So that made the North American version a lot harder than the Japanese or the European version, in which they fixed it, but they never fixed the North American version. So that's just one of those things.
I remember it being a hard game.
It was a hard game. You have to level up. The first thing you have to do, and when you're a kid, you don't think about this, is you have to level up your gun right away. So you have to grind a little bit, and you have to find a good spot to do it. Once you get the best weapon, and especially later in the game when you got the whip, then you were okay. The bosses were kind of hard. I mean, if you didn't know what you were doing on the bosses, they were really hard. They had weird names too, like Slayer Tim. or Thunder Knight Lord. They had bizarre ass names, but they all looked like dinosaurs, which is weird. It's where's the aliens? I thought these were aliens. And Fred makes an appearance in this game. You know, remember the frog from Blaster Master?
Yes,
well, he's an enemy recycled and presented in this game as well. So you get to fight Fred in this game as well as in Blaster Master. I don't know. I had fun with this game is when I played it, but I know a lot of people were super frustrated with this game. A lot of people straight think this game is crap. So it's tough to be subjective about this game, but we might have to follow more closely what IGN thinks of, because that's what I think the majority of people think about this game.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I remember playing it as a kid, and it was very difficult. IGN's top 100, 45th overall. So this is a tough one to rank. I would say probably the lower half here. I'm going to say, oh, man, I don't even think I like it better than Duck Hunt. What was your first? What was the first number that came to?
Oh man, came to
mind.
You could plop it right there at number 13, I suppose.
13. Okay.
That's fair. I mean, I probably have a higher opinion of it than a lot of people, but I'm just me, and I'm a bit more dorky with video games than a lot of other people are.
Wow, you had to throw out the D word.
That's me.
If there's one way to describe you, it would not be dorky.
No,
I don't think so.
dashing.
Yes, that'd be the D word.
There we go.
Okay,
Dashing.
so speaking of dashing, how about Final Fantasy 1987, made by Nintendo? Obviously, you know the very popular franchise, Final Fantasy. Total sales of this original game, 1.3 million copies. IGN's top 100, 11th overall. So high praise. Final Fantasy 1987. The series obviously would get a lot better. Things would change, but this was the game that started it all.
Mhm.
Maestro, what do you think about 1987's Final Fantasy?
So these games were popular as hell in Japan. They couldn't get enough RPGs in Japan. It was a harder sell in the United States until Final Fantasy came along, and the format was a bit different. In Dragon Warrior, it was just you against a bunch of people. In this game, you could see here you could be 4 people at one time, and you could build up a party. And it was fun to manage all your different characters. And this was an involved game. You could spend a lot of time with this game, immerse yourself into the story. And I know a lot of people that love this game, love the music in this game too. All the Final Fantasy games, at least up until Final Fantasy 11. That's when I believe Nobuo Uematsu bailed and then kind of followed some of the other developers and made their own company called Mistwalker, I believe, and then they made a couple, but that's neither here or there. But if it wasn't for Final Fantasy, if it wasn't for Dragon Warrior, I don't think we would have been exposed to the RPG genre in the States the way we were. And I for one am happy to be able to have these games and
Oh,
play them.
definitely.
So
This is a great game.
yeah, absolutely.
Where are we going to place it? I think it's up near the very top. My first thought was like a 3 or 4 seed. What do you think?
Let's pump it right next to Dragon Warrior. I think these two deserve to be together.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we got Dragon Warrior and Final Fantasy both as number 4 seeds. Man, and those are great games, and those are number 4 seeds. So we still have some big games coming up.
It's a big battle too.
Oh yeah,
Dragon Warrior against Final Fantasy.
Could you even imagine? So next on the list we have another one I think you really like. Ghosts and Goblins, 1986.
Oh, yeah.
Another Capcom special. This one sold over 1.6 million copies. IGN's Top 100 it only gave it 54th place. Nintendo Life gave it 7 out of 10. Talk to me about Ghosts and Goblins.
Well, there's one thing about this. It has one of the best openings, just like Double Dragon, that I can remember. You're laying in a graveyard in your red underwear with your girlfriend sitting next to you. Then Satan comes along and kidnaps your girlfriend, and you just jump into your suit of armor. Dun, 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 dun. And all of a sudden, all these zombies are popping up trying to kill you. So you got to rescue your girlfriend.
Yeah, you do.
All you got is a lance, and that's probably not going to do it because you need the knife. If you don't got the knife in this game, you're probably not getting very far. And as you can see right there, you get hit once, you lose your clothes.
Right down to your underwear.
Yeah,
what happens what happens now if he gets hit?
If you get hit again, you lose your skin and you get pumped into some bones. And this game is famous, or infamous, should I say, for having the trick ending. You beat the game once, a big old cutscene plays that said, "This room is an illusion devised by Satan. Play the game again and beat it all again." Why they couldn't have just made double the amount of levels and made the game bigger instead of forcing you to play the game again, I don't know, but that's what they did.
Interesting choice.
A lot of people never got that far. A lot of people are like, "F that. Hell no. I'm considering this beat." And the true ending you got wasn't all that exciting. You just got a congratulations. You have proved the courageousness of the world and blah 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 blah. You are valorous. Go forth dauntlessly and challenge the game again. And you're like, "Oh, thank you. I have had enough of this game."
Oh, so it sounds like you don't really. I thought you liked it more than that.
Those damn red devils that kept killing you. I mean, I enjoyed it, but man, it can get frustrating really fast. There's some parts of the level where it's beyond your control. There's a time limit, and some parts you have to climb up a ladder, but there's enemies up there going back and forth, and you have to wait for them to make enough space for you to get up there, or else they'll kill you. And sometimes they never do. Sometimes they just sit there and they don't move, and the time runs out, and you gotta start over. It's like, what the hell was I supposed to do?"
You had no choice.
They had no choice. I mean, that's kinda not fair. And then you have to get the weapon again. Oh, wait, no, actually, that's one good thing about this game, is if you have the knife and you die, you got to keep the knife. But
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
the very last level, you need the shield to beat Satan. And they don't necessarily tell you that. You have to figure it out. So if you get to Satan with the knife, you beat him. It says, "Oh, this weapon has no effect on Satan. You need the shield." So you go, you get the shield, and if you die while beating Satan, guess what? The shield doesn't work on a lot of the regular enemies. So you have to grind and get the knife again so you can beat the level so that you can get the shield and try to beat Satan again.
Huh. Who could it be? Could it be Satan? Okay, so where I put it at 11. What do you think? Was it better than Clash of Demon Head?
Clash at Demon. I don't think it's better than Clash at Demon Head.
Worse.
Just put it next to Crystallis.
There we go. We're going to seat it at number 11 for now.
Crystallith.
I don't think it's called that.
Crystallis.
Crystallis?
Crystallis.
Anybody in chat, if you know, let us know. How do you pronounce that? Next is 1986's Gradius. 90% on computer and video games. IGN's top 100, 34th. That seems kind of high. Gradius.
High.
Low? Kind of low?
I don't know. I think it seems a bit appropriate to me.
Oh, a prope.
Ah.
Well, here's the gameplay. People, you decide for yourself. How does this look to you? I know you you shoot these bad guy ships and you get some power-ups. What kind of power-ups could you get, Maestro?
Oh, so yeah, obviously you have a speed upgrade, you got a missile upgrade, you have a little power up that has you shoot 2 of your missiles at once, you have a laser upgrade, and this is an interesting upgrade system where if you got enough points, the little cursor would move over to that particular power up, and you could choose to buy that power up, or you could wait until you got another upgrade, in which case that cursor would move over again. So if you really wanted the laser power up, you'd have to wait until you got enough power-ups for the cursor to go over laser, then you could purchase that power-up. And incidentally, this game was the first game to implement the Konami code.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
which was
up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, select, start.
I could listen to you say that all day. So what did that get? What did that get you? All the power-ups?
That did get you all the power-ups, and that was programmed in this game because one of the programmers could not get far enough in the game to properly test the levels.
This game is too hard. I made it too difficult.
So he pumped in that code so he could get all the power-ups whenever he wanted to, and then they just never got rid of it when they released the game. And it was discovered, and the rest is history. So to speak.
Then everybody dominated the game.
Yeah, exactly.
So it looks like a fun game. Where are we going to rank it? Gradius. Chat, let us know.
It's probably one of the better shoot 'em ups on as far as flying side-scrolling shoot 'em ups go.
My first thought was in this range. What do you think?
I would probably pump it in that range as well. Is it better than Life Force though? I'm not sure if it's better than Life Force.
I don't think it is.
All right, let's pump it right there, number 8.
We're gonna put Gradius as a number.
Gradius.
I like, do that again.
Gradius.
Gratadius.
Gratis. Crystallis.
Yeah. And they say Latin's a dead language. Gradius, people.
Grads.
Okay, next we are going to do Ice Climber 1985. This is one of the original games that came out. It is part of the Action series. IGN's top 100, 79th overall. So the title pretty much says it all. You're climbing ice. And as you can see, It looks like you're some sort of Santa Claus type character, and you're taking a giant hammer to a polar bear wearing red underwear, possibly.
And sunglasses. Looks like he's just it looks like he just woke up and is
Wow, what's happening?
walking out to check the mail. He still got his underwear on, and then he got a dude dressed up like an Eskimo with a mallet to whack you in
Right?
the dick.
Who's the real bad guy here?
This dude, he's just whacking polar bears. They're just chillaxing, and we got
Oh.
Mr. Ice Climber here with a mallet.
Yeah, and so you're wearing a giant coat, and
they're just walking.
yeah, they're minding their own business. So this looks like a Donkey Kong clone.
It
Possibly.
looks similar to Donkey Kong or the original Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
But man, Ice Climber, he's just destroying these guys' walkways.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, you're gonna not be able to walk after he hits your level. So it looks like you're just trying to bounce your way up, and you can beat previous levels that you were able to get to, but it doesn't seem like a very deep game at all. So, but again, it was 1985, and you're dressed as Santa Claus on the cover, so you at least got that going for you.
Santa Claus had black boots. He's looking at his white boots.
I don't think this one is. I think this belongs near the bottom. What do you think, Maestro? You got a number?
Yeah, probably pump that one near the bottom as well. Right. I would probably vote for some bottom pumpage.
We're gonna pump it at 14 people.
Yeah, right. 14.
That pill pusher, Dr. Mario. Okay,
let's climb the glacier to get to see. I climb the glacier for you, Dr. Mario.
And taking these pills. Don't ask any questions.
Taking these pills and come back in the morning.
Okay, this is another game I had never heard of, but you wanted to include it. So, Jackal, another Konami classic. It's a run and gun. IGN's top 100, 37th overall. Why did you want me to include Jackal?
Well, for one reason, we didn't really have a game quite like this on the list. And Jackal is just a damn fun game. Look at that. So you got your machine gun that always shot forward, and you got grenades and power-ups that you could get to beat bosses. And the object of this game was to free prisoners. So you would get to a barracks where your fellow soldiers were at, like right there. You'd blow it open, and then they would just jump into your Jeep. You could fit an unlimited amount of people in there. And when you rescued an officer, you would upgrade your weapons. So it was fun. It was just really fun. Playing this game was fun. Beating the big tank at the end was fun. Seeing how far you could get without dying was fun. And there was 2 players too. So again, that was a lot of fun. And I just remember playing this game and beating this game and having a lot of fun with this game.
So are you saying you like the game?
Yeah, I am saying I like the game. Pretty good.
Jackal.
Jackal, man. There was like Captain. Look at that dude in there. You wanted to be that dude.
That does look pretty cool.
I think this was called I think they renamed this in the arcade, something like Top Gunner. I think they named this game to kind of capitalize on the recent release of Top Gun, but on the NES release, they changed it to Jackal. So there's a couple different versions of this game named different things, and the Japanese version is different. You were kind of relegated to one. It's tough to explain. So, when you play games and you get close to the edge of the screen will automatically scroll to unveil more of the map in that direction, so to speak.
Yes.
The Japanese game, they didn't do that, and everything was just boxed in. You were just in this box totally. So the map seemed a lot smaller and narrower. So in this case, the NES version was a lot better, which isn't always the case.
No. So this was 1988. I don't remember this at all. Was this a popular game?
I don't recall if it was super popular. I remember it being pretty prominent on the rental shelves, so you could rent this. And I remember this at the arcades too. I remember a lot of people having this game, and I remember it got a lot of press time when I recently rediscovered, oh yeah, that game.
Oh, Jackal.
It was one of those games where you went over to your friend's house and they had it, and you played it and you really wanted it, but your parents would never get it for you, so you kept finding excuses to go back over to their house and play
Yeah, it seems like an interesting game. Like I don't think it's going to make a huge dent in the tournament, but I know you liked it and you had fun with it, so I wanted to include it.
Yeah.
Where would you place it?
Oh, where did IGN
It was,
rate
I
that again? Like
believe, it
30
was
something?
37th overall.
37,
So they
huh?
divide that by 4. That should be around a 9 or a 10 seed according to IGN.
All right.
What do you think, sir?
What do we get here? You know what? Let's pump it at number 9 there.
Number 9 seed,
Yeah.
Excite Bike Action.
Yeah.
Okay.
Battletoads and 2 vehicles.
There you go. All right. So that is that one. Okay. So this next one is another weird one. I don't know like where they were getting these names, but this one is going to be Kid Icarus. Let me pull up the
Oh,
slide.
yeah.
So
Kid Icarus.
you said his name was Pitt. I thought for sure his name was Kid or Icarus, but
No,
it's not.
Angel's name is Pit in this game.
Tell me
And,
about him.
well,
Who is this guy?
this dude is an angel warrior.
Yeah, he is.
And he has to Yeah, he is. And he has to kill Medusa because Medusa has been changing all his fellow angels into stone.
Okay.
So that you have to save them. The platforming mechanics of this game are kind of unique. Again, this was one of the very early releases for the NES, and a lot of vertical stages like you see. Death running into the Grim Reaper was pretty interesting early on.
What did these penguins ever do to him? That's the question.
Those look like snakes to me. Those don't look like
Wow.
penguins. They're snakes with wings, which is pretty damn terrifying, if you ask me.
Okay. Well,
And the power
let
up
me know in chat. Penguins or snakes? Go
snakes
ahead.
with wings, much more scary.
And
So,
what did he shoot him with his little bow and arrow?
bow and arrow, that's right. You could upgrade that bow and arrow, but it was very convoluted to how you did so. You had to get the exact amount of points and hearts. If you didn't have the right amount of hearts, when you went into an upgrade room, there'd be nothing there. So you would have to try again, go out and get more hearts. And leveling up, you'd have to grind. I remember doing that at the beginning of level 1. You just kill a lot of enemies until you were leveled up. So if you didn't know what you were doing, this game could be really frustrating. And I think it was frustrating for a lot of people, especially early on.
He's got
A
wings.
lot of
Can he
kids.
fly? Can he fly?
He doesn't fly until the end level where he has like all the armor and he's just flying flying across the screen until it gets to Demusa. Medusa.
Demusa. So
It shoots Demusa.
IGN's top 100, 20th overall. That seems really high.
Wow. They shafted Double Dragon 2 and they put
Yeah,
Kid
they
Icarus
think
up
Kid
there.
Icarus is way better than Double Dragon 2. All right, IGN, you're gonna get some hate tweets from us. Where would you like to put Kid or Pit Icarus?
Pit Icarus, Kid Pit.
Kid Pit. Oh, Kid Pit. Like it's right there. That's a great name.
Kid Pit. Let's pump Kid Pit.
Pit
Oh,
Kid.
man. I'm thinking Pit Kid at number. You know what? Let's split the difference. Let's put it at number 10.
All right. Kid Icarus, you are number 10 seed. I don't know how you got to number 20 on IGN. That seems really high.
Come on, Igan.
Pit, Igan, Kit Piggin Id.
Igan got this one wrong.
Well, they don't know everything, or do they? If they're going to sponsor the show, then they do. We are going to go to this was one of the late games. So Nintendo was pretty much dying down, and Super Nintendo was coming to town. I don't know how I made that rhyme, but that's pretty cool. 1993's Kirby's Adventure, made by Nintendo, 27th overall by IGN, the very famous Igan. 1993. So like people weren't even playing Nintendo anymore, and this game came out like at the very end of its life cycle. Do you remember Kirby's Adventure?
Yeah, I do. This game was a blast. I love playing Kirby's Adventure.
I think it was too.
And it's by the very virtue of the fact that this was kind of at the end of the NES's life that it was still as popular as it was.
And good graphics too, because of 1993, so the graphics had advanced.
Yeah. They were pumping more capabilities of the NES, so to speak. But this game was fun, man. The mechanics that they introduced in this game just weren't there for a lot of other games. Eating your enemies, gaining their power-ups, that was a lot of fun. I play this game all the time. This game was a lot of fun.
I think it
I
was
know I
too.
keep saying that. Did I say this game was a lot of fun? Because this game is a lot of fun. Oh,
Quick question: Did you think this game was fun?
this game was kind of fun. Oh, and
This is why you come. This is why you come to the pop culture playoffs for analysis like that. Was this game fun?
This game is so fun, guys.
This game is fun.
Incidentally, I heard a rumor that Kirby got his name from one of the lawyers at Nintendo, whose last name was Kirby.
Oh,
That
did he
I
suck? I'm assuming he sucked.
No, he didn't suck. He actually, I believe, helped defend Nintendo against the Universal Donkey Kong suit, where Universal Studios was like, "Yeah, you totally just ripped off King Kong. We see what you did there."
I meant he sucked because the character was Kirby sucking or blowing. We're not sure. He sucked in the bad guys and blew out the good vibes.
Sucked and kind of held in his mouth, and then he spit. So he spit. He didn't swallow. Or
I don't think he swallowed any of the bad guys because he couldn't hold them. So Kirby's Adventure. What do you think? I think this was a pretty solid game. I'm thinking upper half. I was gonna say like 6. You think
yeah,
6?
that seems like a good spot for Curbs.
Kirby's Adventure. Oh man, there's some. Oh dude, the tournament's gonna be so exciting. Look at all these great games up near the top. We haven't even gotten to the best games yet. This next one is not one of the best games, but it was a lot of fun, and so I had to include it. I don't think we went over this one, so I'm gonna be interested if you remember 1985's Kung Fu.
Kung Fu.
2.5 out of 5. IGN's top 100, 62nd. We like beat 'em up games, like if you haven't guessed, and this was very early on in the life cycle, so the graphics are not the best, and it's basically just you beating up some people. That's pretty much the whole game.
Yeah.
And here's some action. You got karate kick, you got karate chop. Those are your choices. How do you want it?
Oh man, I just purple shirt guys. I thought they were vampires because they would just run into you and just I thought they were sucking your blood because they would just stick on you. And if you let them, they would just stack up behind each other, like they would dock into each other as they were.
Bring them on.
Yeah, see, look, like right there, they were just into you like that.
Oh man, look at this gameplay, people. This is what got Nintendo on the map. Look at this.
I remember playing this game, and I didn't play this game a whole lot. And
why would you?
I don't remember being all that good at this game. It seemed like you died really quick.
Yeah, because they're coming fast and furious. It's like in the movies they just come at you one at a time, but in here they're just bum rushing you.
They're just running at you with their arms up in the air, sucking your blood. And I might have to try this game again because now that I'm seeing this again, I think I could do a lot better.
Oh, for sure, you would dominate.
Now that my prefrontal cortex has developed in a manner more.
You're not a baby anymore. You're an adult man.
Now I can pump. Why does it have an asterisk?
That's what I was wondering. I wonder what the it's not actually Kung Fu. They had to the lawyer. Yeah, the lawyers had to put an asterisk. That Kirby guy said, guys, we probably actually legally cannot call this Kung Fu. So just if you're going to run with that, put an asterisk.
What this guy is doing on there is not actually Kung Fu. We do not condone kicking anyone in a purple shirt in the nuts.
Is it karate?
Karate. Well, if we're gonna get super duper technical for a moment,
oh boy,
I do believe Kung Fu means art learned over time. So pretty much anything could be considered Kung Fu.
That's important to know. Thank you.
But that doesn't explain the asterisk, though.
That's really what we wanted to figure out there, but we couldn't. Kung Fu. Where are we putting this one?
Let's put it at 15.
This is so basic. It is the only game it's better than right now is American Gladiators.
You know who would be great on those pugil matches if you had the Kung Fu guy?
Oh my gosh,
kicking off an American Gladiator,
right?
Yeah.
Why? That's a good point. If they had gotten some karate experts on there,
Yeah, just a kick.
What was that American Gladiator sound? Can you do that again for me? I will never tire of that. We have upcoming next. Okay, we're going from a stinker to an absolute legend of Zelda. See what I did there? Legend of Zelda, 1987.
Pretty good
Computer
segue.
and video games, 9 out of 10. IGN's top 100. Number 2. I'm sure you could talk about this for a long time, so you don't have to. I think it's going to go very far in the tournament. We will have many opportunities to talk about it. But really briefly, why was The Legend of Zelda so iconic?
Oh, man, The Legend of Zelda was a game so far ahead of its time. It was the very first game that incorporated a battery backup save system, so you could actually save your game without any passwords. And this game was developed alongside Super Mario Brothers by Nintendo's Research and Development 3, which was headed by Shigeru Miyamoto, the master himself.
Definitely.
And he expounded on this game and said he wanted to make a game that captured the sort of feeling that he had when exploring around his town when he was a kid, coming across caves, trees, forests, rivers, and he wanted players to experience that. And he really captured it with this game.
Oh my gosh.
The music is great.
Yes.
They were going to use, I forget which one. They were going to use music from a pre-existing composer, but it hadn't cleared its copyright limitations yet, the statute limitations on the copyright. So it wasn't in the public domain. So they had to switch it really fast. And the composer, he made this music in like an evening, I think.
One night.
1 or 2 days he made all this music for this game. And it's one of the most famous pieces of music of all video game of all time. It's so recognizable. Everyone knows the Zelda theme. The game is classic, or a stone cold classic. The again, a lot of people speedrun this game, but so many video game tropes and what people associate with video games come from this very game.
This is a legend for sure. Can you hum a little bit of the song for me while I there it is. What a game. I'm not even going to ask you. There's no doubt this is a number 1 seed. This is one of the greatest, not only one of the greatest Nintendo games of all time, but one of the greatest video games of all time, period.
Yes.
There's no disagreeing with that. I won't even stand for it. If you try to talk me out of it, Legend of Zelda is an excellent game, and it will be a number 1 seed in the tournament, and I predict it'll go very far. It's going to go to the Final Four unless it comes up against a real upset-minded game. Okay, so chat, let us know if you like Legend of Zelda. Obviously, you do. We have up next, we talked about it earlier, Life Force, 1987, IGN's top 100, 38th overall. Ooh. So this was a sequel to Gradius that we talked about earlier. I don't know what is going on with that cover. Is that a spaceship or a snake?
Like Dragon Warrior. Looks like
they use the same cover art.
Yeah.
we just use the same box. Yeah.
It looks a little bit like the dragon snakified from Dragon Warrior.
Yeah, that was really weird. But Life Force was a pretty good game. It's pretty much the exact same as Gradius. Maybe
I think it's a bit more polished than Gradius. So I would say it's just a more polished version of Gradius.
Which was a fun game. Gradius was fun, so this obviously is fun. The same power-up system. You know how it is. You're shooting these bad guys. Occasionally they leave a power-up, and it was fun for the time. This was 1987, so this is what you had back then.
Yeah, grades.
Life Force.
Yeah, the power-up system is very similar. And it's just a better version of Gradius, in my opinion. So wherever Gradius is, probably like a spot or 2 above it.
I agree with that. So let's find, where are we? We are going to pump it into, so Gradius we had 8. So I think 7.
All right.
6?
Yeah, that works. 7?
All right, we're gonna go with a 7. All right, so
Radius.
what are we pumping next? What's after Life Force? Ooh, we got a little Nemo. We got a little Nemo.
Little Nemo.
Little Nemo. Little Nemo.
Little Nemo in Dreamland.
Little Dreamo. Little Dreamo.
Little Dreamo.
That's what they should have called him.
Yeah.
What were they doing? Little Nemo. It's right there, people. Little Dreamo.
Little
Nemo Master.
Dreamo.
Little
Wow. Little Dreamo.
What were they thinking? Why did they even need the Nemo? Little Dreamo.
Little
Okay.
Dreamo.
Little Nemo Dream Master 1990. Another Capcom. They got a lot of games on the list.
Yes.
It's a platform game, 4 out of 5. 1990. This was not up my wheelhouse. I did not play it, but I do have a clip. Do you remember Little Nemo Dream Master?
So I haven't played Little Dreamo either. But we can just look at the cover art.
Little Drano.
Little Drano. This game might be fun. It reminds me a little bit of Bed Knobs and Broomsticks.
Oh, here we go. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it looks fun. In Mushroom Land.
I might have to give this one a try just to see what it's about. But man, those spiky shelled snails really pumped him.
Oh man, this game looks hard.
Yeah, it does look really hard. Little
Mushroom
Dreamo.
Forest. Oh, Little Dreamo. He's tiny. He's got purple hair.
Man, Little Dreamo is just wearing.
How many kids do you know that have purple hair? That seems like that's an outlier.
Nowadays?
Yeah. Any days.
Seems like there's a lot of people running around with purple hair right now.
Which is weird because he has black hair in the cover, but the crocodiles are coming after him. You know what? It looks like in the cover art, it looks like they're trying to rip off Peter Pan, maybe.
Yeah, they do kind of look Peter Pan-ish. That's tree there, that's horrifying.
Yeah, as a kid, you're in dreamland and this tree is gonna eat you.
Yeah, but if my bed got up and started walking away, I don't think I would stay on it. I think I'd probably bail.
This is tough. They had it. IGN had it at 68.
That's near the bottom for sure.
Yeah, neither of us really played it. Little Dreamo, you can
right
go
there
right up against your
now?
weirdo uncle,
Okay.
Fester's Quest.
Creepy Uncle Fester.
Your creepy Uncle Fester. Well, you think he's not creepy?
Oh yeah.
He's got a spider on his forehead, and he didn't even bat an eye.
That is pretty creepy.
Pretty creepy or very creepy?
Really? Very creepy?
Okay, so we are going to go up to one of your favorite games. Get excited.
Oh,
it's Maniac Mansion.
Maniac Mansion.
1987. Eurogamer loved it. Gave it a 9 out of 10. IGN's top 161st. Lucasfilms. Yeah, it's that Lucas. Tell me about Maniac Mansion.
Man, so this was pumped by Lucasfilm before it was LucasArts, I believe. We did have another company that had the rights for making Nintendo games at the time. I mean Star Wars games. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Star Wars games. But this game was a lot of fun. This game kind of came out of left field. This was a point and click adventure game where you had to figure out what to do to save your girlfriend because she got kidnapped by the weird family that was in there. And this weird family is being influenced by a meteor that crash landed nearby. Now, you can do a lot of odd things, but in order to save your girlfriend, you had to break in to the lab somehow and either make friends with the meteor by signing it to like a publishing contract or put the meteor in the trunk of the weird Etzel and launch it into space, or the whole mansion would blow up and kill everyone in a 5-mile radius.
That's bad.
Which I believe is one of the death scenes. If all your kids, you could kill all of your kids. You could drown them in a pool if you wanted to. But one of the things you could do is you could take water from the pool that was used to cool the nuclear reactor. You could put that water in the microwave and cook it. And when you open the microwave, your kid would die because he's inhaling radioactive steam. So that's the amount of thought they put into this game. You can also put a hamster, Weird Ed's beloved hamster, into the microwave and blow it up. And then you could take the exploded hamster bits, give it to Weird Ed. Weird Ed would flip out and kill you. This game was a lot of fun. There's
Weird
a lot
Ed
of
or Weird Al?
Weird Ed. Weird Al
Hmm.
did not appear in this game. Just Weird Ed. I think
Well,
there's Edna too. There's Edna, Weird Ed, Weird Edna, and I forget the other guy's name, but
Maniac Mike.
there's a lot of maniacs in this game.
This game is like, so I like those point and click games. Monkey Island was a game I remember as a kid. Leisure Suit Larry, possibly.
I remember Leisure Suit Larry. Yeah,
I wasn't really supposed to play that, but so Maniac Mansion 1987. You obviously had a lot of fun with this game.
yes.
It looks fun. It's definitely interesting. It's definitely different than any game that we've already discussed. So
Yeah, there's some good point and click adventure games on the Nintendo. I think that might have been the only one that made it on here. There's Shadowgate, there's also Deja Vu and The Uninvited, which are some more of my favorite point and clicks. In fact, those three games were retreads of the Mac Adventure games, which are very fun. And maybe we could do an episode on those someday.
definitely.
Or get more in depth with those.
Where would you like to put it?
I am so subjective about this game. I would probably pump this high up, but gosh,
We have to put it somewhere.
let's put it at number 7. Do we have enough space at number 7?
We do. So
all right.
Number 7s are all full. We have 4 number 7 seeds now. So 7 seeds are stacked. Adventure Island 2, Fact Xanadu, Life Force, and Maestro's favorite, Maniac Mansion. That is a
Mansion.
7 seeds are loaded. Okay, so what do we have next? We're going to go into a little Marble Madness.
Oh boy.
Now, this was a very cool game too. Milton Bradley, which seems very weird that they made a video game. IGN's Top 100, it was unranked. Info Magazine gave it a 4 out of 5. I remember this game, and I know you talked about it before, having a cool speedrun community, which is weird because you had to go around these corners very slowly. But here's a little bit of the gameplay. It's just you're going down these unique maps, and you're on a marble, and you got to take these turns very slowly. And if you beat the level with enough time left, it added to your next round, and you got to keep going. This game was pretty cool. I liked it. It was pretty unique for the time.
Yeah, it was very unique for the time. It was weird controlling these marbles with the D-pad.
Yeah.
Always admit or think that having a rollerball would be a lot funner. But this is one of the very first games I ever played. As you can see, it was made by Milton Bradley, which is kind of odd.
Yes.
I don't see a lot of toy companies producing video games.
No.
But this one didn't turn out too bad. I remember having fun with it. One of the introductions I had to the NES. In fact, I remember a story where I was still a little kid and NES was kind of new, and I distinctly remember this. So I was at the store looking at games, and these two parents were discussing what game to get their kid, and the dad's like, "Well, let's ask the expert." And he turns to me, and I'm like 10 years old at this time, maybe.
He knew you were going to be an expert one day.
And he's like, "What video game should I get for my kid?" I'm like, "Marble Madness," because that's the only game that I knew at the time. So of course I said Marble Madness. I'm sure there's a lot better games, but he probably bought my con and got the kid a game. So I'm very, if you're out there and remember your first game being Marble Madness, it could have been my fault. So I'm sorry.
No, it was a fun game though. Like you said, it was tough with the D-pad, but it was a unique game. It was fun, and I remember playing it and liking it. Where are we going to put it?
So as
you're the expert,
memories I know I've had of this game, I don't think it's
as the expert.
It should be up very high. I'm thinking 15 maybe.
15 Kung Fu asterisk.
Yes.
That seems fair. Okay. Marble Madness. Okay, now we're coming into the Mega Men series. Mega Men? Would that be multiple?
Rockman series, Mega Mans.
Mega Man 2, 1989, IGN's Top 100, 4th overall. Electronic Gaming Monthly's gave it an 8 out of 10. Look at that cover art.
Yeah,
what is going on there?
The Mega Man cover art is cursed, in my opinion. They could never get it right. The first one was probably the worst. Mega Man 2, somehow the artist missed the memo that he doesn't actually have a gun, and it doesn't even look like he's holding the gun. He's wearing some sort of odd helmet. I don't know what's going on with that back foot. He's sliding across,
Oh yeah,
shooting at Quickman and missing pretty badly.
a lot of
And
spandex. Was there a lot of spandex in 1989?
yeah, only if you were a created by Dr. Wily or Dr. Light. You had to wear
What a
spandex. That was their kink. I mean, that was their
what a
thing.
what a weird cover art. But this was a great game. IGN's top 100, fourth overall.
Yeah.
So can you talk about the gameplay a little bit?
The gameplay was tight. It was one of those where it was tuned precisely. Platforming was fun. Choosing the right weapons for the right bosses, on the other hand, was challenging. Playing through it that gave it some replay value, because
Yes.
at the time you didn't know which weapons would work best against which bosses, and they were fair with the weapons too, because it's not like in some games where you got a new weapon and ammo is just so scarce you were afraid to even use it. In this game, you could use those weapons and be confident that you would find more ammo, but it was really hard. It was difficult.
No, there
And
was normal or difficult.
yes, in the US version, but in the Japanese version, which is the most speed run version of this game, there was just difficult. There was no normal setting. It was for us US kids.
Oh, look how cool he looks with his helmet off and his hair in the breeze.
I know.
Good looking Mega Man. I think this was the best out of all the Mega Men. Prove me wrong.
All the Mega
Prove
Men.
me wrong, internet. Mega Man 2.
This was definitely up there for sure. It has one of the better weapon suites that you could get. But it wasn't until the later games where you got some of the more power-ups. Like, I'm a big fan of the Charge Shot, the Charged Mega Buster, that you could get. I think in Mega Man 4, Mega Man 3, 4 that came out. I remember liking that.
I like
Mega Man 2 was really the music in Mega Man 2 was by far the best, for sure.
I wish you would serenade us with as I put it, as a number 2 seed. Can you do some Mega Man?
That's whatever. Yeah.
What do you guys think? 2 seed Mega Man 2? I don't even think that was.
You're putting it at number 2?
Whoa.
Oh, okay.
What are you saying?
I was thinking maybe 3 or 4.
What? Okay, well, let me bring this to your attention, sir. Mega Man 3, because I'm just going to skip past what you said, because that's a number 2 seed. Mega Man 3.
The Crotch Buster.
Okay, yeah, we looked at this cover earlier. Yeah. Guys, if you can look at this cover, look where the Mega Man is aiming. Right at that robot's crotch.
Shooting the robot right in the dick.
Okay, not only is he shooting there, but he's so focused.
And he's so happy about it. Look, he's grinning. He thinks it's funny.
All of his attention is on the crotchal area.
Yeah. Mega Man 3 Crotch Blaster.
Crotchal's Revenge. What is going on? I think it was just his height. Like, from where, he shooting these penguins right in the nuts too. It's just like he was at the right height, that he was going to face your crotch, and you were going to get it.
If you came across a crime scene and a bunch of people just have burn marks on their crotch, just holes blown through their pelvis,
how else would you stop a robot?
Maybe Dr. Wily has programmed weak spots in the crotchal areas.
Yep, definitely. So if we can, just one more time before we place it, just look at that cover art. Look at how focused he is. He is doing a number on that robot's crotch.
That crotch is not there anymore.
The robot kept coming forward, but he kept taking it.
Crotch Racer.
IGN's top 100, 16th overall, Electronic Gaming Monthly. I think this is the second best Mega Man. And so Maestro didn't agree with me. I put Mega Man 2 at a 2 seed. I was thinking Mega Man 3 at like a 3 or 4 seed. What do you think?
Yeah, let's pump it at 4.
Okay, there we go. So stacked number 4 right here with Final Fantasy and Dragon Warrior. Oh, this is another game you requested, I think. So let's talk about it.
Let's pump about it.
Get ready to pump. It's Metal Gear 1988, another Konami classic, action adventure stealth, sold over 1 million units in the United States, which is crazy. IGN's top 100, 26 overall. This is the same series that became Metal Gear Solid?
Yes. So this game originally was released on a PC, and that game was in fact produced by Hideo Kojima, the master of Metal Gear
Yeah.
Solid that we know and love. And if we could go back to that cover art for a
Oh, sure.
second,
Let's look at it.
that's
He's a handsome man. Is that Robert Redford?
no,
Woo.
that is Kyle Reese from the Terminator.
Oh, really? Yes. That guy's in everything.
If you look up
Michael Bain.
Yes, if you look up Kyle Reese from the Terminator, this exact photo is taken straight from the movie. It is.
That's funny.
So they definitely had the Terminator in mind, I'm going to say, especially when they made some of the later games. But this game was a lot of fun.
Let's go back to that gameplay.
Yeah.
Check this out. You
So
got the stealth. Oh,
Yep,
no
the
stealth. No stealth. Just dogs.
You forgot to pet the dog. So you don't have to punch the dogs. You can
No,
just
you got to
pet the
punch
dog.
them. You punch them or pet them.
See, that dog was he petted the dog. That dog was fine, but he went back and he killed it. That's
You got to
neat.
finish. Yeah, you got to finish the petting.
So you can pet the dog.
Nope.
See,
Punch,
you killed the dog again, man.
Yeah, I don't know if I like this game.
So anyway,
punch
you can
dogs?
see that cut that startup screen. It said Ultra there. That was actually a cover by Konami because there was a rule that Nintendo had that see Ultra Games right up the top there.
Yes.
So Nintendo had a rule that you could only release like 5 games a year for the Nintendo if you were a game developer.
Oh.
So Konami got around this by just making up another company.
Oh yeah, we're not Konami anymore. We're
Yeah.
Ultra Games TM.
And Nintendo knew what was going on, but obviously they wanted Konami's games
How do you
because
stop
they
them?
they were fantastic. So they pumped them. They pumped Metal Gear, and Metal Gear was originally supposed to be a more of a run and gun game, but they had some limitations. So that's what actually led to the whole stealth element, to have less people on screen and kind of stealthily sneak by them. And now that's what Metal Gear is famous for.
Exactly. The stealth, the hiding, the sneaking through. And I never, as a kid, I never had the patience. I always just wanted to start blasting stuff. So like games like that weren't always my favorite, but they were fun. They were unique and they made you really think like, how do I get through here?
Mm-hmm.
So this is tough. Where are we going to put Metal Gear? He punched a lot of dogs though. Like, I don't know.
He did punch a lot of dogs.
Petting turned to punching.
Gosh, where should we put Metal Gear? How about number? Oh man, how about number? What's up higher there? I don't want it down there.
Wow. Wait, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Let's see. What did IGN? Yeah, IGN had it at 26. So that should be like probably at least a 7 seed. Okay.
We could bump it at number 7.
Giving the 7's taken.
Oh gosh.
I know.
Let's do number 6. 6.
As good as Double Dragon 2? Batman?
Yes.
Okay. That's all you had to say. Oh, dang. Oh, there's so many great games. What is going on? There's too many great games. Okay. Next, we have 1987's Metroid. 5 out of 5, all game. IGN's top 100, 6th overall.
Yeah.
This is a classic. This is one of the best games of all time. I mean, I'm sure you're going to talk about the ending too. Like, what a game. I don't know what else I can say about it. This was an amazing game. What do you think about Metroid?
Yeah, Metroid was one of the first games to have a female protagonist, and that you didn't know until you beat the game and she took off her armor. Then you got to see the one leg.
What happened?
Yeah, pumped off the armor.
And
And you got to see Samus in her onesie. Or not
okay, very
onesie, leotard. Leotard.
I was just like, that's motivation to beat the game.
Yes. And yeah, this is a lot of fun. A lot of power-ups to be had. It was very linear, non-linear.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah. It's
You
very
think it's non-linear, sir?
Yeah.
What is? Whoa, yeah. This is. I remember Metroid being very popular. Like almost everybody had a copy of this.
Mhm.
This is a great game. IGN top 106th overall. It's got to go. It's got to go. Up here
Got to
to the top.
get pumped up there.
We're pumping it near the top, people. We got some pumpage. Metroid. Yep. Going past all of these. So my original thought was 2 or 3 seed.
Let's pump it at number 3. It seems
Do
like a
not
good
have
spot.
do not have any number 3s yet. So that seems like a good fit. I thought it might almost be a number 2. We can move those later, so it doesn't have to stay there. But I think that's like the right like area for it. The next game we're pumping through is Micro Machines, 1991. This was I get this is a racing game, but just like if you remember late 80s, early 90s, every kid had Micro Machines, those little tiny cars, and this is what you did with them. You raced them around, and that's what the game was. It was basically you're racing around these little tiny cars, and IGN gave it a 31 overall on their top 100 list. So pretty good praise for a like, very light racing game. Do you remember Micro Machines?
So I haven't played Micro Machines much, actually.
How dare you?
I know, right?
Why
So
not?
I don't have a ton of experience with it.
You didn't go through the call sheet. I told you what was on this list. Well, if you didn't know, this is the game. You're racing around a kitchen. There's Cheerios, and this is it. This is a fun game.
Yeah, it seems fun.
I don't hear the excitement. I don't hear the excitement in your voice, sir.
I don't know.
Did you even have Micro Machines as a kid?
I didn't play a whole lot of the racing games. I was mostly RPG adventure.
You didn't play racing games. You didn't have Micro Machines. Were you even a kid in the early 90s? What's going on here?
I stepped on Micro Machines.
That's painful. If you want to talk about
I'll take my GI Joes. You take your Micro Machines.
Hey, I'll take both of them. They were both great toys. Okay, so Micro Machines obviously not getting a lot of love from you. I think it was a solid game. I'm gonna pump it around. Yeah, I'm not saying it's great. Let's pump it at like 12. Let's say 12.
All right.
Okay, so another genre I'm sure that you love very much. It's near and dear to your heart. It's golf. It's 1985's golf.
Wow.
It introduced the power and accuracy bar, which changed the name of golf video games.
Just look at the dude on the cover. He
is focused and angry. He is mad. Have you ever golfed before? That's what happens. You just get mad. That's half of golf is being angry.
That's how this game. That's a depiction of how you feel when you play this game. That's just pain and anger.
If you want to see pain and anger, wait till you see this clip. Okay. This is this chubby guy
like
has no power,
pounds.
No power whatsoever. Hits the ball about 10 yards. This is if this is how golf went, this would not be very fun, would it?
Painful.
He's gonna get to the hole eventually, right? Right?
Yes. Oh boy.
This is like somebody teaching a child how to play golf and they're hitting it 5 yards at a time. That is you think he's a bigger guy. You think he'd have some power behind his strokes, but
yeah, exactly.
He does not. But that power and accuracy bar, that changed the game because if you hit it right, you would clearly hit it very far. This guy was not doing that. So
this is just a coordination game just to get the arrow where you want it to go on the power bar. And there's just some golf happening in the background.
So IGN's unranked, all game 4 out of 5. So yeah, this is going to be near the bottom, I think.
Yeah, let's pump this at 16. Something's got to be at 16.
We're getting a 16 seed.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he did not. I didn't think you were going to love that game. I'm going to be honest. All right. So as we're flying through these games, let's go to another really good game. Let's go to Ninja Gaiden, 1989, 17th overall on IGN's Top 100, made by Tecmo. This is an action platform game. I know for a fact that you played this and liked it. So talk to me about Ninja Gaiden, please.
Yeah, I did pump this and like it. I think it was called something different in Japan, but they changed it to Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden in America, and I believe Gaiden is Japanese for side story, which is kind of cool. So Ninja
Interesting.
side story, but this is actually his main story, Ryu Hayabusa of the Hayabusa Shinobi clan. He's got to get the dragon sword. That's right. And man, the speed running community for this game is very active, and I've tried it myself. I still haven't beat this game, to tell you the truth, but I've gotten very close. Some of the final bosses are pretty tough, but gosh, I know how to beat them. I should try it again. The best weapon in this game is actually the spin slash. If you got the spin slash, everyone just kind of falls down in front of you. I played this game a lot, more than the subsequent games, and I would probably pump this game pretty high. This is fun.
Okay, it is a fun game.
Was featured in The Wizard too, I believe.
Was it?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about another game, folk, that was featured in Wizard. The Wiz.
The Wiz.
Ooh, so Ninja Gaiden, where do you have it? IGN's Top 100, 17th overall.
17, huh? Wow.
That should be like in the top 4 or 5 if I did my math.
Well, let's pump it at number 5.
Ninja Gaiden number 5. Ooh, that's a stacked lineup right there. Bionic Commando, Castlevania, DuckTales, and Ninja Gaiden. Wow. That's a good spot for it, I think. Okay, so what do we have next, people? We are going to look at... Oh, here we go. Did you ever deliver papers as a kid, Maestro?
Uh-oh.
Did you?
No, I did not.
Well, if you did, it would have probably
I'd
turned out something like
that, dude.
Look at this cover.
He's just pelting you with papers.
You are on the ground, and he is throwing papers over your carcass.
Just imagine putting your pants on outside and this paper boy just barreling through, chucking like 4 or 5 papers in your face.
Here you go.
Here you go.
Here's your papers. What is going on here? This is crazy.
Bitch.
Did you order this? Did you sign up for this?
Here you go. Thunk.
Ow. So Paperboy was a very unique game. You hadn't seen anything like it before. It was simple. It was fun. Let me see if I can find a clip of it, because I always thought it was kind of funny. Stranger right beside you. Right behind you or right beside you?
There's danger out to find you. There's a stranger right behind you. Which doesn't really necessarily mean danger, right? No, stranger danger?
I think it does. So he was delivering papers, and you had to find the houses that had the subscription. And
woo, just so sidetracked. So you had to go down the street and you had to chuck papers into mailboxes or on the front step on the doormat. If the houses were red, that means
I just love him throwing right through these windows.
That's how you would get new subscribers.
Oh, he's just throwing them right through those windows.
That's how you would get new subscribers, is throwing them through the windows.
Imagine you wake up and just like all your windows are shattered and there's just papers in your living room.
Well, I guess we got the papers. There's just like your dog's just laying on the ground.
Oh, that is so funny. Paper Boy. What is that guy's problem?
He's the best damn paper boy.
What is going on with Paperboy? That was a previous clip of us talking about Paperboy. We have so much love for this game, not because it was a great game, but just because of the damage you could do
to
these houses. What a weird game. So you're just riding a bike up there, and and each level is pretty much that. You're riding a bike up a sidewalk,
Yeah, weird
throwing
isometric
papers,
angle.
and at the end you ran through you did a speed run through a junkyard or something.
Yeah, you had to like go through an obstacle course at a junkyard, and then
What's that
you
all
got
about?
points, and then you were featured in the paper that you probably delivered, which is a weird meta thing.
How did you get in the paper?
I guess you'd be interviewed after doing a good job delivering the papers and destroying everyone's houses.
Good job, kid.
And
You earned
look how
this.
many windows around these houses. They're way too many. The music just stops for the shattering of the glass.
I like the dog. The dog's just sitting there.
Yeah.
And then, all right, I'm coming after you.
Throw a paper and then a tire.
Wow.
The dog.
What a weird
There's
game.
there's
Oh, there he is. I seen him. I seen him.
The dude putting his pants on.
What is he doing?
I swear he's pulling his pants on. There's the gravestones.
For sure. What a weird game. They just needed obstacles. Oh, that was that paper you're talking about.
There is amazing.
Daily
Paperboy
Sun.
delivers.
Daily Sun.
A rough job, but Hero Paperboy stops thief. Look at this. Earns honors big bucks.
I like
mysterious
yes.
vandalism baffles.
Who has been throwing all these papers? In a related story, this Paperboy is a hero.
this Paperboy is. Oh my gosh! Mysterious vandalism baffles police. You think all the papers on the ground around aren't clues?
I don't know. That seems weird. But that was a fun game. It was. I'm not going to say it's anything like groundbreaking, and I don't even know if you'd play it for more than a few minutes today. But that was a pretty fun game. Where would you like to place that? I think
Paperboy's a damn hero, man.
Yeah, he is. And in a related story, a lot of mysterious vandalism baffles cops.
Vandalism baffles police, but that Paperboy.
Where would you like to put it, sir?
Oh boy. How about number 11? Right by
I think 11 is a good spot for it.
Yeah.
All right. Next, we are going into another racing game, which I know you are not fond of. 1987's Rad Racer. This sold nearly 2 million copies, so it was a very popular game. It has some 3D action. Do you remember the 3D action? If you see the box cover there,
yeah,
3D action.
3D action was. It should just say headache inducing action because that's pretty much all it was.
Oh, my head!
Put on these stupid glasses. Put on your power glove. Push select, and it would just go into this red and green hued mess. And yeah, it looked vaguely 3D for the 2 seconds you could stand it before that you were just, oh god, I suppose it was.
I have some 2D action. This is 2D action. I don't have the 3D available, but
just tearing through the desert.
These were the racing games back then, and to me as a kid, like I really liked it. I had a lot of fun. I even wanted to be a race car driver for a short time because just like this was fun.
Blowing past Volkswagen Beetles in your IROC Camaro.
I know, right? You got to have something dangling from your rearview mirror. Like you just have to, like some dice, maybe. Oh, but yeah, this as a kid, that was cool. Like that is what life is all about. The open road, sunny out, driving fast. Probably 3-lane highway. No cops.
Just wait for those Volkswagens to pump. There they are. Oh yeah,
blowing right past them. They're going so slow.
Nothing on you.
No turn
all
signals.
The same color. All the same colors.
So this was not a great game. IGN's top 100, 57th overall.
Totally radical, man.
Rad Racer.
It's rad.
I would think.
Rad Racer.
I'm gonna say 11. What do you think? 11.
All right. Yeah. Ugh.
You're not too fond of racing games in general, so we don't need to spend too much time on Rad Racer.
Rad.
Oh, and of course we have coming up next another racing game. So let's just knock out this racing game as well while we're here. RC Pro-Am. we're getting to the end of these games, and this was a cool game. This was another racing game. 90% from computer and video games. IGN's top 100, 13th overall. Let's look up some footage of RC Pro-Am. It's these little remote controlled cars. You're racing them around, but there were some cool power-ups. There's like basically like a very early version of Mario Kart because you're dropping things for people to spin out on. And to me, this was a cool game. Did you ever play this one?
So this one I did pump a little bit, and I did have fun with this one more than Micro Machines. I think I like RC Pro-Am best
Out of all racing games on Nintendo,
except Excite Bike. I really like Excite Bike. I don't
That's
really like
fair.
Excite Bike, but RC Pro-Am was a lot of fun.
32 tracks. They all seem very similar, so I don't know about that. But IGN's top 100, 13th overall, and I think this was a fun game. And I'm gonna say, it's getting tough. We still got some great games left, but
RC
Pro-Am. I think like an 8 seed.
Sure,
8 seed
works for me.
Good. Okay, now we are going to go into another. If you like fight 'em games, fight 'em.
Fight 'em. Fight 'em up.
If you want to fight 'em up, guys, this is the game for you. 1989's River City Ransom. Fight 'em up, made by Technos. IGN's top 100, 15th overall. That is high praise from Igen.
Yeah, Igen, man. Just look at that cover. Even the cover, that's true. The white shirts, you got to think that guy's got a pink shirt.
That is so cool. That is like the height of coolness. Just like a t-shirt, and you want to fight. And here's the gameplay. Look at this, people.
They got the pink shirt guy vibrating on top of the wall.
He's just waiting for a moment to jump down.
That guy's got messy hair too.
Oh, they drop a silver dollar.
Yeah, he just whipped that chain across the screen. Oh, there's that other guy. He's running to get the chain. I love that.
Oh, he's back. He's got a chain.
Oh, geez, just whipped him too.
Take it.
Oh, that guy's a beast.
Oh,
he's got the. Oh, dude, he took him out.
Oh my god.
Dude.
Does it get any more fun than this? Like this is what video games are all about. No, these aren't bosses. These are regular guys in pink shirts.
Glasses guy is like the pink shirt sensei.
He's their boss.
Yeah.
You're saying the guy up top is their boss?
The guy up top is
shadowing you.
Oh, that guy right there. Look at that guy. He's like,
you think he's a boss?
Yeah, dude.
You just kicked the crap out of him.
He came over there. That guy. Look at him.
That guy's a boss. The guy with the glasses?
Look at that. Yeah, beating the
that guy's a boss.
He came in and got sloppy. He whipped him in the back with the chain.
Yeah, I think that was my favorite part when he just like completely got destroyed. Oh, so if you had a pink shirt in the late 80s, you were fighting people on the streets. This is what happened.
Were a ruthless gang. Just pink shirts, blue chinos. Man, that guy just came, look at that.
His eyes bugging out of his head.
Oh my god. Dude.
This was boom.
Oh, dead. Brown
River
bread.
City Ransom, 1989. IGN's top 100.
The cover art looks like a ransom note with the little cutout letters.
Oh, yes. Maybe that's what it was. I just remember the fighting part. I don't remember any storyline whatsoever. Man, but this seems like a cool game.
I wonder if that's ever been cosplayed before. If we just all wear pink shirts and walk around with chains and like the Droogs from Clockwork Orange.
I'm saying we could probably pull that look off.
Yeah.
Do you have a silver dollar you can drop if they defeat you?
I could come up with a silver dollar just to keep in my pocket for loot. So
you have a chain.
Loot my corpse. Yeah, I got a chain.
Okay, so pink shirt, check. Chain, check. Silver dollar to leave behind, check. You're part of the gang. Welcome
aboard.
Join the team. Okay, so this is obviously going to be high up on the list because that game looks awesome. Well, is it as high as a 4 seed? No,
it can't. We can't do that.
But it can't be a 9 seed either. That's too low. We kind of.
Let's. What game can we pump down? Maybe. You know what? Let's move. Can we move? Let's move Life Force down. Maybe, yeah, switch it with Gradius there. Put Gradius down and switch it. Yeah, there we go. Like that. There we go.
I like it. Okay. So
Okay.
River City Ransom, you think a 7 seed?
Yeah. I like it.
The Pink Shirt Gang. The Pink Shirt Gang.
The Pink Shirt Gang is coming, guys. What we're going to do?
Where's your silver dollar?
I ate it.
Where's your chain?
Where's your chain?
Where's your shame or chain?
Where's your shine?
All right, 1991's Bart Simpson versus the Space Mutants. This game was not good. Sold over 1 million copies, had the Simpsons name attached. So as a kid, I wanted to play it, but it was really weird and difficult. And I don't think it's going to do very well in this tournament at all. But I wanted to include it because it was at least like a part of my childhood. Did you ever play Bart Simpson versus the Space Mutants?
Yeah, I gave this one a couple pumps.
You pumped it?
Yeah, I pumped it for sure.
What's going on here with the X-ray specs?
Well, you had to put those on to see if an alien was on top of the head of a dude.
Wow.
And if you jumped on a dude's head and it wasn't an alien, you would get hurt. But if an alien was on top of the dude's head, then you'd get points.
So X-ray specs seem a lot cooler. I don't.
Yeah, they were.
Wait. So what was that movie with Roddy Piper?
They Live.
Yes. So is that what they're spoofing here?
That was a pretty good movie, but
that was a great movie.
Yes.
Yeah. If you guys need a movie recommendation from us, check out 1987. They Live.
Yeah,
Roddy Piper.
Yeah, that's he coined the phrase. I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum. But I'm all out of bubblegum.
That is a great line. That is a great movie.
Was not originally Duke Nukem. So that's a bit of trivia.
That is it's not a great game though, people.
No,
I think it goes in golf and American Gladiators territory.
Yeah, you had to get the color purple, change it into the color red, which didn't really make any sense. You didn't fight the aliens really. And then later in the game, you had to find all the hats and destroy them. It was and the platforming wasn't good. It was just tough and frustrating. So yeah, we can pump it at 16.
Yeah, I don't like that game at all. So that is going to be very low on the list. But this game was actually kind of fun. Snake Rattle and Roll. 1990, 32 on IGN's top 100. This game was very unique. It was different. It was way better than Bart Simpson versus the Space Mutants. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Are we gonna do a snake rattle and rolling?
And we got a game by Rare. We haven't seen them pump up yet.
It's rare that they make the list.
It's rare.
Is he rattling or rolling here? What's happening?
It looks like he's kind of sliding. He's a big head. I've never actually played this game.
That's rare of you to say that, sir.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
And he's in the water. Oh, he's back.
Disembodied foot.
Yeah, that seems weird. That seems very strange.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of foot action.
I'm getting a lot of Marble Madness vibes from this.
It does kind of seem like that. It did well on IGN. 32. All Game gave it a 3.5 out of 5. But I don't think we can show it that much love. I think we're going to like 12. 12 sound good?
Yeah. Okay, we can pump it at 12.
We're gonna get some 12 pumpage going.
Give it some pumps, yeah.
Would you like to pump it? All right. So next, in alphabetical order, we are getting to the end here, people. So we have some big names coming up because we have some high seeds that have not been decided yet. But this is not going to be one of them. This is Star Tropics 1990, IGN's top 100, 35th overall. I hear a little bit of an excitement in your voice. Do you remember Star Tropics?
I've pumped Star Tropics. That's I haven't pumped the Star Tropics a whole lot.
Not much.
I do remember it. You're a kid, I think, with a yo-yo.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
He's jumping. He's got a yo-yo.
This was another adventure game. I pumped it, and I liked Clash at Demon Head better than this.
Okay,
than
fair.
Star Tropics, actually.
That's
there was
fair.
a sequel to this game called Zoda's Revenge. I haven't pumped that one. Zoda, not Yoda.
Yoda or Zelda? If Yoda and Zelda had a baby, it would be Zoda.
Zoda.
Diet soda.
And it would be good in the force. Diet soda. I know
30.
Nintendo has a very high opinion of this. They included it on their NES Classic collection.
Hmm.
Probably should have
So
pumped.
not classic enough for you, eh?
I mean, it was good. It was good. I didn't. It didn't really stand out to me
No.
as super awesome the way like Clash at Demon Head did.
Mhm. So I think we're fair in thinking maybe like around a 13.
All right, yeah, we could pump it there.
Yeah, we still have some openings up top here. We're gonna have to figure this out. Okay, we still have some great games coming up. For some reason, in alphabetical order, the next game on the list is Super Mario Brothers 2. I don't know how they decided alphabetically that would be next, but let's roll with it. Super Mario Brothers 2. This was a weird as a kid, this game was very weird to me. It was nothing like it was very different than Super Mario 1.
How
I
did
was
Adventures of Link fall so far down the
I think because
alphabetical
it's
list?
called I think they did the Zelda.
Oh,
Saving the best for last, buddy. All right,
all
Super
right.
Mario Brothers 2, fifth best selling game of all time on NES.
Mario
Eight,
Madness.
18th overall IGN top 100. He picks up turnips and he throws them at the bad guys. Is that the madness? I don't know.
Mario Madness for sure.
This was a weird Marble Madness. No, Mario Madness. This was not.
Mario.
I think of the three Mario the three Mario Super Mario Brother games for Nintendo. This was the worst.
The worst, huh? Wow, I've never heard any of the Super Mario games be described as the worst.
The worst
But
of the three.
this was interesting. So this originally wasn't a Mario game. This originally was a game in Japan called Doki Doki Panic.
Weird. Does
And
that
they
mean?
reskinned the characters in there to represent Mario games because when the actual Mario 2 was sent over to Nintendo to test out, Nintendo of America to test out, the person who tested it immediately got killed by a poison mushroom and thought that this is too frustrating and hard for American kids. And so they had to come up with something else. You can play that game, only it's called Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, and I think you have access to that on Super Mario Bros. All Stars, which is another great game, and we can do SNES games maybe at a later show.
Definitely.
Yeah, but this was definitely interesting, and a lot of the characters that we associate with Mario actually came from Super Mario Bros. 2, like the Birdo, Mauser,
Mauser?
King Wart. Ninjas, a lot of the bad guys come from Super Mario
What's
Bros.
with the
2.
turnips? Why is he throwing turnips at people? Turnip madness. That's what they should have called
Yeah,
it.
Turnip Madness. That was just one of the objects that could be thrown in Doki Doki Panic.
He was
And
always throwing stuff.
it was a Arabian, like an Arabian Nights sort of game, and that's why it has that magic carpet sort of feel, desert land. And Super Mario Bros. Kind of ran with that ever since. So even though you may think that it was one of the worst Mario games on the SNES, it's still nonetheless very influential and
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's
the
still a
future
good
of
game.
Mario. Yeah.
I'm just saying with Super Mario 1 and 3, which are coming up next, I don't think
Yeah.
this
And
was
what's interesting is Mario is the worst character in that game. He doesn't jump as high as Luigi, and he's not as fast as Toad. It's no one ever picks Mario when they play that game unless you don't know what you're doing. So
what a
there
shame.
you
What
go.
a shame.
Pick Luigi.
I think yeah, well, Luigi never gets any love. Everybody always picks Mario, so that's funny.
Yeah.
That just as a kid, that was not my favorite. So I put it at number 4 because we're running out of space here.
Yeah, that
You,
works.
you think, yeah, they had it at 18th overall, so that's like in the right ballpark.
Yeah.
Next, I don't even know if we need to spend too much time on this next one because this is by far one of the best games of all time on any system. You will not get any arguing from pretty much anyone. This is Super Mario Brothers 3,
Look at that.
1990, the game that changed everything, sold over 18 million copies. IGN's top 100. They had it first overall. Please tell me that you love Super Mario Brothers 3.
Oh, you bet I do. This game was a labor of love from Nintendo. They said that this time they are making a Super Mario game and they are going to make it perfect. And they got as close to perfect with this game as humanly possible. the power-ups in this game, the overworld, the the different ways you could go through it, the shortcuts. If you wanted to warp to different stages, you could. If you wanted to play every single map, you could. If you wanted to collect all the power-ups, you could. And so many suits. A lot of people don't realize, man, you got the original fire suits. You got the obviously the super mushroom. You got the leaf, the raccoon tail,
That was
flight.
my favorite.
Yep,
Flying was amazing.
you got the Tanuki suit, which was it was like a raccoon suit. A Tanuki is a Japanese raccoon. But you could fly with the Tanuki suit, and you could turn into an invincible statue, which could kill a lot of things that you couldn't kill normally. You got the Hammer Brothers suit. You got Gugum's Cloud. I think it was called Gugum's Cloud in Japan. It was called Lakitu's Cloud, I think, in the United States. You got the Goomba's Boot. So many different power-ups. And it had the introduction of the P-meter. So when you charge up the P-meter, you ran faster.
Yep.
And that was just another way to get through the levels quicker. There's so many different ways. I remember the big world where everything was bigger, like big shells, big mushrooms.
That was funny.
Mhm.
What a game. What, like, just so much fun. This is probably the most fun you could have playing a video game as a kid.
Yeah, this was fantastic. Finding all the secret toad houses was fun. That if you met certain criteria at the end of the level, like if your points matched up a certain way, a toad house would appear, like a white toad house would appear, and you could go there and you're guaranteed to get a very, very good power up. And you could find other toad shops just hanging around. You could fight the Hammer Brothers. It was great. Get the warp whistle. That was a great shortcut, a great way to jump around the map. There's just so much to love about Super Mario Bros. 2. The replay value is off the chain. The platforming, the controls are solid. I love it.
I love it too. I can feel your love, and come back with more because this was a great game.
Mhm.
One of the best of all time. It's definitely a number one seed. Not even worth discussing. Right next to Legend of Zelda, we have Super Mario Brothers 3.
Oh,
And
yeah.
now we're going to go to the original. Well, maybe not technically the original, but for most kids, this was the original. Super Mario Brothers 1, 1985.
Oh, yeah.
Sold over 310 million units. IGN's top 100, third overall. This game was also, as a kid, this game was amazing. Talk to me about Super Mario Brothers 1.
Oh, man. Where do I start with Super Mario Bros.? The very first game I ever played
Oh, was it really?
on the NES was Super Mario Brothers. And that's it. This is the game that I played when I was still getting used to video games that were longer than just like one stage, or games that you could progress across an entire world. And going down warp pipes and finding all the power-ups was fun, even when I was a little kid that didn't really know what I was doing. I still play this game today. I dabble in a bit of speed running. I try to speed run some of these games, and I've gotten pretty good at the warp speed run, so I could jump from world 1 to world 2, skip all the way to world 4.1, then skip from 4.1 to world 8, and then beat the
You're
game
done.
that way. And
Wow.
that was pretty good.
10 minutes later.
Yeah, it's more like 5 minutes actually.
Dang.
You could beat the game in 10 minutes is pretty good. If you could beat the game in 10 minutes. I think the world record is under 4 minutes beating this game.
So let's take an amazing game and let's make it shorter, people. Let's run right through it.
Yep. So
Wow.
people have been optimizing this game for almost over 40 years. And
Yeah, we're coming up. Yeah, we're coming up on almost 40 years, 38 years ago.
Yep, people are still playing this game. You can see all the records on Speed Demos Archive or Twin Galaxies for that matter. Cosmic, I think, has or is it Darby? No, I think it's Cosmic that has the world record. No, it's not. It's not. It was broken a couple years ago.
Who has the record?
I can't remember his name now.
And why isn't it you?
Oh, because I'm not good enough.
Okay.
There's some of the things that I could get into what it takes to speed run a game like this, but it would be like it's all about, sub-pixel manipulation, doing things at the beginning of the level to set up things at the end of the
Yeah.
level, talking about frame rules, how you gain seconds and frames of like 21, how the game cycles. You have to manipulate this game has been torn apart at a fundamental programming level in order to optimize a speed run. And again, that could be a topic for another show. I could talk at length about that.
You could, but there's no talking about this. It's a number 1 seed. It's the original.
Alrighty, pump it up at number 1.
Oh, look at this. The heavy hitters, Legend of Zelda, Super Mario 3, Mario Brothers 1 as 1 seeds.
Mm-hmm.
We still have some room. We have another 1 seed to find. We have another 2 seed to find, and we have some 3 seeds. So let's see if we can find some with the next game, which is a football game called Tecmo Bowl, 1988, made by Tecmo. Sold over 5 million copies, unranked by IGN, but it was legendary. One of the classic games that started the football genre being so big in video games in America. This is, of course, American football. And if you remember correctly, there was a little guy named Bo Jackson who would just dominate you. Here, this is Marcus Allen, and as you'll see, as he scores a touchdown, the cool thing was you had this little cutscene where
it's like weird high five.
Dudes high-fiving. I mean, that's how you high five. You got to both jump in the air, and at the height of your jump, you connect with the high five. That's how it's done. So this game wasn't deep. There was player licenses, but no NFL teams. It was just Cleveland, not the Cleveland Browns. And it was just a lot of fun. This was... You had 8 plays. You had 4 plays. The defense tried to match your play, and that was pretty much it. This was 1988's Tecmo Bowl. I know you're not a huge fan. Did you pump a lot of these football games?
I played a little bit of Tecmo Bowl, but as you can see, if you go back to the cover art there, you can kind of see how Sinclair gave it 8 out of 10. What is Sinclair? I've never heard of Sinclair.
Well, they gave it an 8 out of 10 for a reason, buddy.
Igen didn't even give this.
It didn't get ranked. It didn't get ranked, but it sold over 5 million copies. So you're saying 5 million people don't know what they're talking about?
Well, I think that maybe Jay there made up his own ranking company, Sinclair, and ranked it an 8 out of 10.
Wouldn't I give it a 10 out of 10 then? Come on.
You would, but then that would be too obvious.
Instead of IGN, IJN gave it 1 overall.
Yeah.
Top 100.
J.
Oh. So you think I fudged the numbers with Sinclair? What is he accusing me of, people? Listen to this.
I've never seen Sinclair before. I don't know what,
and this is my fault?
How reputable Sinclair is, but by virtue of the fact that that's the only whatever that gave this game a decent ranking.
Oh, Sinclair, Sinclair, hop into chat. Let me know that you exist.
Sinclair gave it an 8 out of 10. Well,
and they know who the hell are they?
I'm just going to start using that as just a placeholder for, well, hey, Sinclair gave this an 8 out of 10.
Well, I know everybody else hated it, but Sinclair loved it. They know what they're doing.
Sinclair knows what they're
doing. The mysterious Sinclair group.
It's the only one that knows what they're doing. I don't like the cereal. Oh, Sinclair gave it an 8 out of 10.
Tecmo secretly runs Sinclair magazines just to give them good ratings.
Surprised Sinclair would vote this up near the top.
Well, Sinclair, I know you loved it, and I kind of loved it too, but we're running out of spots. I hate to put it this low, but yeah, I think it's going to have to be a 14 seed.
Sinclair wants to come protest that. They're more than welcome.
Sinclair is on the line. Sinclair, yes. Number one seed.
You we can all see you, right?
Sinclair here. Number 1 seed.
Sinclair.
We gave it an 8 out of 10. One of the best.
Doubt any representative from Sinclair would just pick up the phone and say,
That was great.
Sinclair here. It's, "Oh, yeah,
Thanks
this
for
is-
tuning in, Sinclair. Sinclair hopped into
Joseph
chat.
Masterson, representative for Sinclair. I would like to give Tecmo Bowl an 8 out of 10.
Oh yeah, that's a great magazine. If you get a chance, it's not around anymore, but back in the late 80s, Sinclair magazine was the place for video game rankings.
I want to Google this.
Wait a second.
See,
I did not make it up. Sir.
Sinclair.
I did not I did not make it up. Or did I?
No.
Did I? Hey, you try to scour the internet for rankings for games that are 30 years old. I was scraping the bottom of the barrel. Okay, bud?
Magazine? Sinclair Magazine? Sinclair Ranking Bureau?
It's not clear. It's not clear. It's just Sinclair.
Sinclair.
It was good enough to make Wikipedia, so.
Game rankings. I don't know what the.
How dare. See what I have to deal with, people getting questioned. What do you think? What'd you find out?
Oh God, I'm not finding anything.
No, they don't.
What's going on with Sinclair Sports? Oh, Sinclair's got their Sinclair Sports.
Oh, is it real?
Rebrand of Sinclair channels from Fox Sports to Bally Sports. So it sounds like Sinclair is just a.
Oh, you know what? I think they're a cable company, a sports cable company, actually.
You pulled a video game review from a sports cable company?
But that was from 1989 or 88. So I don't know what they're doing now. Back then they were rating games.
Oh man, that's like having I don't know.
You're not impressed. You are not impressed with Sinclair. Okay.
Sinclair is obviously biased towards this game. I doubt they would give the same ranking to a game like Xanadu.
Well, no, hold on, sir. I did put it at a 14 seed, so come on. Okay. For that fake rating I gave it.
If I see Sinclair weighing in on Tecmo Super Bowl,
yes.
Then I don't know.
They're heavy hitters. They're too busy probably to be worried about it now. But they at the time, 8 out of 10.
At the time, Sinclair's opinion really mattered.
It's not even Sinclair Magazine. It could just be some guy. It could just be a guy named Sinclair.
It could be some random dude named Sinclair thinks this is an 8 out of 10.
Well, it was to him. It was. But let's go to the sequel. Tecmo Super Bowl 1991. Now we got. Is All Game good enough? Is IGN good enough?
But what does Sinclair think about Tecmo Super Bowl?
If Sinclair liked the original, they probably gave this a 10 out of 10. ESPN. Okay, all right. Well, have you heard of ESPN, Maestro?
Yeah, I have heard of ESPN.
Okay, well, ESPN said this was the greatest sports game of all time. So, all sports of all time, greatest. So, are you gonna pull a Sinclair on me and say you never heard of ESPN?
I've heard of ESPN,
and
you can't claim that a game is best of all time if not all time has occurred.
Okay, you're correct. Of all time that we've lived through, of all time so far, they should have put an asterisk on it.
They have to. Should we have them retract this every single time a better sports game comes out?
I don't know when this ruling came out, but maybe they don't think anything better has come out.
Because NBA Jam, I think, is probably better. I think maybe NCAA.
Nope, not according to ESPN.
Not any of the Madden games are better.
Not according to ESPN.
What does Sinclair think? I think we need to wait. We need their opinion.
I know. We got to get Sinclair as a guest on this stream. If we can get Sinclair to hop on here, he loves these football games.
We could get
you
Sinclair.
Know what? Sinclair probably got a job at ESPN. He's probably behind the greatest sports game of all time. In fact,
you're right. That's probably actually Sinclair with that opinion. Greatest sports game of all time.
Okay, so we don't have a lot of spots left. We're running out of spots here. You feel comfortable at 10? A 10 seed?
That's fine. We can.
The greatest sports game of all time is a 10 seed. Because I don't want to go up to a 3 seed. I think we got to start bumping. Let's quickly bump some of these up of a couple spots here.
All right.
Because I think I see a couple top games left, but I think we undershot some of these. So out of the 4, do you see the 4 seed line here? What would you like to would you like to move up to
Would I like to
threes?
move up to 3? Let's move. Ooh, man.
Dragon Warrior, Final Fantasy, Mega Man 3, Super Mario 2.
Let's do Super Mario 2
Let's move that up. I think we're gonna have to move another one up too, buddy.
from number 4. Number 4
Yep.
seed.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Oh, really?
We're gonna start populating
Want to
these
start
higher.
clearing out the
We're
number
gonna start
4
moving.
area.
No, but we're gonna move up some fives. We're gonna start bumping these up really quickly. So,
All
which
right,
ones do you want to move up? What do you want to move up?
let's show Dragon Warrior some love. Let's move Dragon Warrior up. There we go.
Bam, bam. Okay. So, do you feel any of these games moving up? Any 5 seeds? Bionic Commando, Castlevania, Ducktales, Ninja Gaiden. Let's move a couple of these up to 4 seeds.
All right, Castlevania, definitely.
Okay.
Get Castlevania up there. And let's put Maniac Mansion up at number 1.
You son of a! I knew it. Oh, Sinclair is coming through. That's your Sinclair. Your Sinclair is Maniac Mansion.
Hey, I didn't try to base my opinion and hide behind some weird defunct sports. Sinclair thought it was pretty good.
You have a lot of nerve, sir. You have a lot of nerve. Sinclair is the end all be all of video game ranking. I'll tell you that right now. Okay, I'm doing some quick rearranging.
All right.
Okay, and so this is where I actually think Tecmo Super Bowl.
Look at this. Look at that.
All right. No.
Wow, just ramming Tecmo Super Bowl through.
Okay. To a 7. To a 7.
All right, fine. If you're fine with Maniac Mansion, if you're gonna, okay, fine.
I think danger.
Danger.
Okay. Yeah. So this is going to happen at the end of each of these seating shows. We're going to have to rearrange some of these, but for the most part, I think we did a really good job. Okay. So this next game, if you like Tecmo games, and I know you do, and if you are a big fan of Sinclair Publications, they probably loved Tecmo World Wrestling. 1990, it was a sports fighting game. GameSpot gave it 8 out of 10. IGN's Top 100, 69. Nice. Let's find it. This clip is actually pretty funny. So this was supposedly a good wrestling game. I didn't play it, but you had the action up top where, of course, you and this guy are going at it. And then in the bottom half of the screen, you have the commentary. So he's describing the moves, which I find very weird.
Is that a grandmother?
No, it's a 1990 hairstyle.
A sudden, a backdrop.
A backdrop. He nailed him.
Oh, Dragon Sneaker. Oh, wow. How did he just do that? A pile driver.
Oh, Tecmo World Wrestling. So the action actually looks pretty cool. It's obviously not licensed by WWE or anything. So it doesn't have any of the famous wrestlers from the time. But wrestling was getting really popular. This was an okay game. I don't think you even played it, did you?
I don't remember playing this.
Yeah, and I think you would because that grandma in commentary, she was really selling it.
I would have remembered grandma in commentary. Yes, I absolutely would have.
All right, let's start doing a little bit more rearranging because I think we can't have. Come on, what are we?
Danger
right beside you.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna pump you. Woo!
Okay, so we'll have Tecmo World Wrestling as a 15 seed. Okay, so now if you liked Dr. Mario earlier, then how about its original version?
Tengen Tetris.
We're going to go to 1989's Tetris. Sales of over 8 million copies. IGN 48th overall. I don't know anyone that's not played Tetris at some point. If you're bored at work or if you had a Game Boy, this was a super popular game. Talk to me a little bit about what made Tetris so popular.
Well, this is a game with an interesting past. It was originally called Tengen Tetris, produced by Tengen. This game was developed in Russia by a programmer who was developing it in his spare time, and then a dude who published video games for a living bought the video game rights from him, produced it because it was so addicting, Then Nintendo got it and made their version, and then that's what this is right here.
Okay, long story short, this is what happened.
Yes, exactly.
To sum it up, here's what happened. I remember playing this and just like this was a lot of fun, and it's obviously not super deep. You only had so many pieces, but it's like you would go to sleep and the pieces would be falling in your dreams because you would just like, I want to play it again. You wake up and I want to play it
Yeah.
again. It was a lot of fun.
Yep.
For 1989. Like I said, most computers had it. It was very popular, one of the best-selling games of that generation. That's Tetris, people.
It was a better Game Boy game, in my opinion, than it was
Yeah,
a game on a console.
yeah.
A little bit of trivia: all the little pieces are called tetrominos, which is
That's not.
pretty.
I don't think that's true.
You don't think that's true? Well,
No, I'm just kidding.
Sinclair.
Sinclair.
Yeah, Sinclair has my back on that.
We were both going there. We know we know what Sinclair thinks about that one. Okay, so like a number 8 seed seems about right. Like again, we're running out of spots here. So Tetris at about an 8 seed, do you think?
Yeah, that seems appropriate.
Because we only have a couple games left, and we gotta pump these spots out, people. Here's another cool game. I remember this. I remember playing this at the arcade. TMNT 2, another Konami. 41 on IGN's Top 100. That seems a little low. I think like it came with a free pizza. I think maybe Domino's or Pizza Hut. You got a free pizza with it. I just remember like Ninja Turtles, obviously, before we talked about Battletoads, and this was the era of the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
They were everywhere. They were on everything. TV shows, movies, video games. But this game was actually a lot of fun. And I'm sure you played it, correct?
Yeah, I've totally pumped this game. It's not my favorite Turtles game, obviously Turtles in Time.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's favorite, I think, on the SNES. But this did capture what the arcade game kind of brought to the table, and it was a whole lot of fun to play. And I played through this a couple times. I remember me, my friend David, and my brother playing this game a lot. And my brother especially liked this game, beating up Rocksteady, I think, in one of the levels. But
what about Bebop? Bebop didn't want any of that?
Bebop, we pumped him too.
Here's your choices: one turtle or two turtles.
Yeah,
what are you gonna do?
There's another example of that Ultra Games. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Copyrighted by Konami.
So Sinclair loved this game. I'm going to tell you that, right?
Sinclair gave this probably gave this an 80%.
A 12 out of 10. Sinclair advertising.
Sinclair gives this what 12? Yeah, 12 out of 10. That's right.
Okay, so
Sinclair Rankings Bureau.
Okay, we might have to move some around again because I don't think TN. Oh. Well, I tell you what, buddy, you want it, you got it. Let's move. Let's start moving some of these. I'll move Maniac Mansion.
Oh yeah.
What do you think about that?
I like it.
That seems way too high, but I know you love it. You are a maniac for that game. Oh, okay. So there we go. We are going to have, I think 7 for TMNT 2. That's a good spot for it. Okay, we're getting down to the nitty gritty.
The nitties.
The nitties. Another game that I remember as a kid having a real hard time with, but popular movie. We're going there. Top Gun, 1987. This was a fantastic movie with Tom Cruise and Val Kilmer. Sold over 2 million copies. Computer and Video Games gave it 82%. Another Konami. Konami is dominating this list.
Konami all over the place.
This was a fun game, but it was hard, and it was I would say maybe too repetitive. Firstly, it was too repetitive because it's pretty much what you see here. This is pretty much the whole game. You had different missiles, and you had to land on the aircraft carrier at the end of the round, which was always like as a child, it was very, very confusing for me. And this is the whole game right here. Is this screen and then landing? But it was fun, and it had the Top Gun name attached to it, so it sold a lot of copies. And when you get the planes in your crosshairs, like that's really cool. But like nothing major.
Oh yeah. That
I like
music.
that.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was fun for a while for sure. And then I think I mentioned this before. The missiles all were all the same. So when you picked your missiles at the beginning, one didn't do any more damage than another one. So eventually, you just started picking the one that gave you the most. And it
Right.
was the Sidewinder
Once
missiles.
you figure that out.
Yep. Once you figure that out, and really the only derivation from the core gameplay, I think, is the last level where you beat a spaceship. And that's the it's like it's like not a space like an alien spaceship. It's like something that's on a launch pad, a rocket ship taking off. That's was the
Oh,
final
okay.
boss. And then you still have to land on the damn carrier afterwards. It's you won the game. You should just be able to bail out and parachute down, but you don't. You still have to land on the carrier, which is could be a boss in itself. And
Definitely.
trying to figure out that you needed to match your altitude and your speed to whatever it said on one of the gauges was tough when you were a kid and you could barely read. But
Pull up, left,
yeah,
left.
yeah.
It just shouts instructions at you.
Altitude, altitude.
Oh. So I don't think this game was very good. I'm gonna say probably a 15 seed.
Yeah, I would pump it down there pretty low.
Yeah, it's at the bottom of the barrel, guys. Sinclair did not have any opinions on that one.
Sinclair couldn't land it on the carrier. Sinclair would rank the carrier
Yes.
a 5 out of 10.
What? Yeah. What would Sinclair give this live stream? I would say 10 out of 10,
Yeah,
12 out of 10.
I think Sinclair would really love this live stream, especially the part where we talk about Sinclair.
We gave them so much free advertising. Okay, let's move on. We're getting to the end. We got track and field 1987. Where what is this game? 63%. Oh, so this was like a ripoff of the Olympics. Another, oh my gosh, Konami again. This game was
Konami
very
again.
very basic, just a bunch of mini games. But the cool thing was, like, at least you try to beat records. So as you can see here, this
Heck, looks
shooting
like-
game, 4,300 was the world record. You need 2,400 to qualify. So it at least gave you something to shoot for. So at least it wasn't just shooting.
So
But-
that guy looks like a kid actually dressed up to look like an adult and snuck into some sporting clays. Look at that. They put on a fake mustache, big sunglasses, and a hat.
No, this is not a phony mustache, people. I'm of legal age. Whatever age I need to be to shoot guns, I'm here.
I'm 21. I can be in here. I'm gonna shoot real good.
I like how he looks over too. He's like, is anyone seeing this?
Yeah, am I still good? No one's watching me.
Did my mustache fall off? I got the biggest glasses possible I could find.
Yeah, he's in the witness protection program.
Oh.
Some sporting clays.
Can he at least shoot? Let's see. Not great. I don't think he's Olympic caliber. Oh, so yeah, this was the game, people. This was one of the events. I believe there was like 8 different events, and again, it was a ripoff of the Olympics, but they couldn't call it that. It gets sued into the space age. So
Yeah, sunglasses are falling off now. God, it's so weird. It's crazy.
Oh, that is. But you can play 2 players, and a lot of A B button mashing when you're running. So you had that going for you. This was again not a great game, but one of the early sports games for the NES. I'm gonna pump it into a 16 seed.
Yeah, let's pump it down there. It's
Not-
got it. We got to do it.
We track and field, even with the fake mustache. We're
track and field incognito.
You did not fool anybody, sir. But so we go from a 16 seed to possible 1 seed.
Oh.
Possible 1 seed in Mike Tyson's Punch Out. 1990, IGN's Top 100, 7th overall. Computer and video games gave it a 94%. This is an excellent game. I'm surprised ESPN didn't call this the best sports game. Sinclair, where you at? What you got on this one?
We're Sinclair on this one. Sinclair was so impressed by this game, they knocked themselves out. So computer and video games gave it a 94.
That's an A. This was a great game. You had all the different fighters.
Here's one of them. Joe right there.
Oh, he's so here's the fun thing. Any of these fighters could be difficult if you didn't know the pattern. So each fight was unique. You couldn't just button mash. You had to know the combination. You had to know what they did. So it gave you had to play it over and over again to know what was going on. And this was also a great game at the arcade as well. So I find it weird that he wouldn't take his shirt off. I've never seen a boxing match with he's wearing his little shirt, but this was a fun game. If you got to Mike Tyson, like you were a big deal. If you beat Mike Tyson, you were a huge deal. You would come to school the next day, letting everybody know.
You would be worshipped.
Oh my God. Yes, you did it. Talk to me about Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Oh man, this is a very special and unique game to me. The mechanics of this game probably weren't matched on the entirety of the NES. It started off as an arcade game where instead of Little Mac, you were just kind of like a wireframe dude punching your opponents. There's a couple more characters available to fight in the arcade game. I believe they showed up again in Super Punch Out. Yeah, they did. Now that I think about it. And you were right. The patterns for the different fighters were unique. You had to figure it out. Like right there when Glass Joe went up and went wah 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 wah.
Yes.
If you clocked him in the face, as soon as he came back, you would knock him out. But you could just wail on Glass Joe and knock him out before that anyway. The patterns on oh, excuse me.
That's okay.
And some of the different characters were differing, and you could exploit different glitches, like in a Soda Popinski holding down when he ducks to give you an uppercut, he'll just kind of stay there. And Golden Tiger, I think his name was, and some of the other ones, like you'll see Glass Joe go up there and go wah 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 wah. And if you hit him when he comes back down, you'll knock him out.
So I was good against Glass Joe. I was good against Golden Tiger, but then when you start getting into the fourth and fifth guys, I was having a hard time.
Like Bald Bull or Piston Honda.
No, I beat them too. I remember that. But when you worked your way up, these guys were tough. You had very little wiggle room. So it just gave it so much replay value.
Yeah.
And of course
during the upper circuits where you had to like fight Bald Bull 2 or Piston Honda 2 or even Sandman. He was really tough too. You have to time those rolling jabs just right.
Yeah, enter Sandman into
yeah, I would pump this at number 1. Yeah.
The number 1 seed, people, Mike Tyson's Punch Out. So
I see you already preemptively put Punch Out number 1 seed confirmed.
It has to be. It's an excellent game. So number 1 seeds, Legend of Zelda, Super Mario 3, Mario Brothers 1, and Mike Tyson's Punch Out number 1. We still have room for another number 2 seed. Is something going to move up from the 3 seeds? Or is one of our remaining? We got 2 games left, people.
2 games left.
We have 2. We're down to the final 2. Let's see what this next game is. It is another one that you suggested, so it's got to be great.
I think so.
Right? Would you suggest a bad game? You're not Sinclair Advertising.
No, of course not.
It's 1987 Wizards and Warriors. 4.5 out of 5. IGN gave it 56th overall. You wanted to talk about it, so wax poetic about Wizards and Warriors, please.
Right. So you are a knight called Kuros, I believe, and you got to rescue all these princesses. And I played the hell out of this game when I was a kid. I beat it a couple times, and there's 2 other games. Look at that. And the music for this game is really good too. It has one of the best opening musical scores that I think I can remember, opening sequences that I can recall. See that guy right there? He wants you to show that you have 100 diamonds or jewels. You don't have to pay him. He just wants to see you have the money.
Oh,
which is pretty funny.
You have to be this rich to come up here.
Yeah. So there's a weird. There it is. That theme. I love that.
Yeah, Wizards and Warriors, 1987. Do you have the diamonds?
Yeah,
go up.
There's a weird wealth system in a Wizards and Warriors that the guard just wants to see that you have the money, and then you. Yeah,
he doesn't want the money.
Yeah.
He just wants to know that you have it.
Yep, exactly. Then you can go through, and there's 2 other sequels for this game: Iron Sword, which was made famous because Fabio was on the cover of Iron Sword. And then there's the third one called Kuros's Adventure, I believe.
Well, this guy is pretty much as ripped as you can be.
Oh yeah, he definitely looks like he's about to
not
take
goofing around.
a golf swing at whoever's holding that axe up at him.
Yeah. That battle axe boy is not.
His arms are gone. That guy no longer has arms. Arms got golf swung off.
2 seconds later, he's going to be armless.
In fact, that's where the power and accuracy meter the golf game.
So I think it actually lines up pretty nicely as a 14 seed. I'm sorry, you probably want it higher, but we could start rearranging. But I think 14 sounds about right because it didn't get the love. IGN 56. It did get 4.5 out of 5 from all games.
Yeah,
so maybe
action platform, baby.
We're not doing it all the justice.
I think we should move Tecmo Bowl down.
Wow.
Okay.
Sinclair. Oh, Sinclair's on the phone. What are you doing?
Sinclair just has you on speed dial just so it can call and complain and defend.
All they care about. Oh, because of how ripped he is and because you need this many diamonds to enter, I will.
Yeah. Sinclair, just think of what this guy could do to you. Just you spend 40 years defending your Tecmo Bowl, waiting for this moment to call and complain and defend.
Have I moved Tecmo Bowl down far enough for you? 14th seed, sir. It's behind Fester's Quest.
That's because Fester's Quest is better.
You are no Sinclair, sir. You are no Sinclair.
Oh man,
All
Sinclair only probably had 2 games in their repertoire: Track and Field and Tecmo Bowl.
Oh, no love from Maestro, but plenty of love from Sinclair.
From Sinclair. That's all that matters.
This is the final game. Let's get into it, people. Zelda 2, Adventures of Link. That's where it came last alphabetically. The Z. The classic series, it says the original, which is weird because it's Zelda 2, so it's clearly not the original. But IGN's top 100, 21st overall, game ranking 78th. Zelda 2 was a little bit different from the original. Can you explain how it was different from the first one?
Yeah, of course I can. Instead of the familiar top-down perspective that we're all used to for pumping Zeldas, this was a side-scroller platformer. And a lot of people bash it because of that, but you have to remember, back when this game first came out, there was only 2 Zelda games. There was the original one, and there was this one. So there wasn't really an established method of making these games. Of course, now when we look back, we say, well, maybe that wasn't as good as a game.
Wait, is that Red Slime?
That is Red Slime.
Yes. Did it draw near?
Red Slime is drawing near. Yes. And it did have that overworld RPG elements, which is neat. A lot of people were frustrated by this game, but it's a great game. I love this game too.
It is a great game. There's
powering up, it's hard, especially the game smacks you in the face with Death Mountain immediately, like right at the beginning of the game. And if you don't level up before Death Mountain, then you're not going to get very far. And you're going to get frustrated, and you're probably going to quit and think this game sucks. So you could go one of 2 ways with this game.
Is it dangerous out there?
Yes, it's dangerous out there. Don't take this.
Take what? What do you got there?
It's dangerous to go alone.
Did you paint that? Is that you? Did you draw that?
No, I didn't draw that. I got that.
You ordered it from Sinclair Magazine.
Sinclair gave that a very high rating.
We are going to pump Zelda 2. Okay, so this is the last one of the night, people. So do you think it's a 2 seed?
Oh boy,
we might have to rearrange these.
Let's put. You know what?
Danger.
Where's Castlevania 3 at? Is that
Castlevania 3 is already at number 2.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought.
Nice try, buddy. We already placed it correctly. So we did a really good job. We're just off a tiny bit at the end here.
Yeah.
So Zelda 2, I don't think is a 2 seed. So did you want to move? Did you want to move any? Don't go there. Sinclair. Okay, so these are the choices. What are we moving up to line 2? Metroid, Super Mario 2, Final Fantasy, Dragon Warrior, also Castlevania, Bionic Commando, DuckTales, Mega Man 3. Let's do some movement.
All right, let's. Oh man, should we pump Castlevania up there?
The original Castlevania, I think it could go here. So you think Zelda
All right.
2 is Zelda 2 is a 4 seed? I think
Three or-
Mega Man
Yeah.
3 could also be higher. What are we
Yeah,
doing
3
here?
or 4 seed.
Okay, so we got to move one of these games up. Pick a game to move up to 2.
All right, let's get Metroid up there. How about that?
I think that's fair. So Metroid
Yeah.
is now a 2 seed. And then Danger.
Danger. Put Mega Man 3 down there.
What was better, Mega Man 3 or Super Mario 2?
I would say oh man.
I know.
I would say Super Mario 2.
It's better. Man, okay, Mega Man 3 at a 4 seed. All right.
It's
So
still good. Still good.
no, this
speed to be it.
is a tough job. That's why we had to do it. So
Mhm.
these are the final seedings for the tournament, which is going to be Wednesday. Look for it on the stream, Pop Culture Playoffs.
All
We are going
right.
to break down the tournament matchup by matchup. If you like and subscribe to this channel, you will get to pick the matchups. Otherwise, we're going to be doing it, arguing, and with chat. So, Maestro, thank you very much. It was very
Mhm.
appreciated. You are a gentleman and a scholar. And I will talk to you. We'll be back Wednesday, people, to figure out what is the best Nintendo game of all time. Thank you very much. Join us then.
Guys, thank you so much. We'll be here. You better be here too.
We'll see you then, guys. Take care.
Peace.